Hello everyone, welcome. I'm RxOliver and these are my friends, and tonight we're playing Werewolf, the Apocalypse, 5th edition. Got with me tonight Martin, Dave, Therator, and our storyteller for the evening, Logan Bryan. Take it away, sir.
Alright. So yeah, Werewolf the Apocalypse, one of my favorite games, has been for a long time. This is the 5th edition of it, not to be confused with D&D 5th edition. It is just literally the 5th edition of Werewolf the Apocalypse. It's a pretty straightforward system. It's skill-based, attribute-based, and so if you want to open up your character sheet, which you can always do by hitting C on your keyboard, let's talk about some basics of the rules before we start playing. I'll be looking at, I guess I'll look at Ida's sheet for this. So, at the very top of your character sheet, there's, on the left-hand side, there's a bunch of buttons. The top button is for your statistics, health, willpower, rage, attributes, all that fun stuff. All of that currently is clickable for you. If you actually, your sheet may be unlocked at the very bottom of those buttons. There's a little lock icon. You can lock it if you want to make sure you don't change any of the text or anything.
Oh, okay.
But then we can go through some of these things. So health, just so you know how it works, the health boxes you have there is the health that your character has. It's already figured out. When you click on a health box, the first time you click on it, you'll see a slash. That's superficial damage. It heals very rapidly, particularly for a werewolf, and it's not something you need to terribly worry about. If, however, your entire track fills up with superficial damage and you take more superficial damage, then they convert into aggravated damage, which the second time you click on a box, it'll now be an X instead of a slash. Aggravated damage is much more serious and harder to recover from, although werewolves can regenerate aggravated damage as well. And then if you click a box a third time, it'll remove it. Willpower is the same way. Willpower also has superficial and aggravated damage. You won't generally take willpower damage from attacks, although it's possible. Normally your willpower is going to be damaged by using some of your abilities. Or if you choose to spend a point of willpower, thus taking a point of superficial willpower damage, to do a reroll, and we'll talk about how to do that. Your rage should be set to 1 currently. If your rage is ever 0, you've lost the wolf. You can no longer shapeshift, you can no longer use any of your abilities, although you still have the normal resistance of a werewolf in human form. All of your other abilities are gone. So you don't want to lose the wolf. You don't necessarily have control over that, though, because you occasionally have to make rage checks. I might ask you to make a rage check, which you can do by clicking on the kind of bite button right next to rage. Or if you activate some of your abilities, they might require a rage check, and we'll talk about that when we look at your abilities list. What a rage check is... Yep.
You said it was to be 1. It's 1 does the black X and then 1 orange dot mean 1.
The 1 orange dot is 1.
Yeah.
The black X removes it. Yeah.
Right, aye, okay. Got you.
So, as I was saying, though, the way the rage check works is when we roll dice in this game, actually I'll just roll a rage check for Ida, and if it fails, we'll put it back up. So all the dice are a d6. That's a success. If it has an icon on the die, it's a success. If it's blank, it's a fail. If your rage check succeeds, then... Wait, why did that go down? That should have been... Oh, no, I'm
failed.
sorry. The teeth is a fail.
Oh, teeth are bad then.
Yeah, teeth are bad sometimes. For rage checks, they're bad. In other ways, they'll be good. We'll talk about that more later, too. Slashes... claw marks are successes. Bites are failures. But there's more to it than that. But yeah, so as far as dice odds go, if you care about that kind of thing, this is different from some of the previous editions. If you look at Rage the Apocalypse die, there's basic dice, which are green, and there are red dice, which are rage dice. 5 of the sides have something on it in the green one, so you have a 50% chance of any die being successful. There's also the possibility of critical successes. So it's a pretty decent odds-based system. Now, aside from that, you have your attributes and skills. How are you going to use this? I said this before we started, but just so everybody's clear, if I ask you to make a skill check, you want to click on the skill first. Otherwise, the system gets a little confused. And when you click on a skill, you'll then have an option for an attribute. Every skill check is a skill plus an attribute. You set those. You probably won't add renown to stuff, although you might. It depends. And then you confirm it. It'll roll it, as somebody just did. And as you can see there, we've got 1, 2, 3 slashes. Mm-hmm. So that's 3 successes, which is pretty darn good.
Good question, Brian.
Go ahead, Dave. Yeah.
Sorry, going back to the rage. If you lose that, is there any way to recover it?
There is. We'll talk more about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So skills, successes, attributes. Pretty straightforward. Now, just so you're aware, the system will do this automatically, even if you use the dice roller macro that I made for you, because it recognizes how the dice work. But there is another symbol that is the claw marks with a star above it and below it. That's essentially a 10. That's a critical success. But it doesn't actually, this is where it gets a little weird, but the math is interesting. It doesn't actually count as a critical success unless you roll 2 of them. So if you roll 2 10s, that counts as 2 successes plus a critical success, which is 2 additional successes. So that's 4. If you roll 3 of them, it's 4, 2 successes plus a critical success, plus 1 additional one. So it's 5. Does that make sense? If you roll 4, it's 8 suddenly. Yep. Because you've got 2 pair. So again, the system figures all that out for you, but pairs of the criticals are what you're looking for, not singles. Bottom line. Now, the teeth on the rage dice, those are actually interesting because those aren't just a failure, they're considered a brutal failure. If you have a brutal failure on a skill check, say, I don't know, Dave, say you're trying to sneak and you roll a brutal failure as you're trying to stealthily move around some location. Mm-hmm. Not only do you fail, but you fail so horribly that your rage boils up and you destroy something. You're going to have to tell me what you destroy and how you do it, but your rage actually makes you just violently angry that you failed. Oh, yeah. That's on a brutal failure. With regular failures, it's just a failure, right? Now, the flip side to that is if you're in combat, particularly specifically hand-to-hand combat, and you roll a brutal failure, that now counts as 4 additional successes. So you deal more damage because your rage boils up. So it's kind of cool. Anyway. So that's basic skills and attributes. There is a place over there for custom roles, but we're not playing this game long-term, so I'm not really going to get into that. So we're just going to move down the list. Next page is your experience, which is probably not going to come into play, so you don't really need to worry about that. The 4 slash marks is your gifts. Each of you has 3 gifts and a right. As you click on them, they are explained, and you'll also notice that some of them, next to the name of the gift or right, has a little D10 there. You can actually roll it right from there, and it'll automate all of that stuff for you.
Is this the 4th tab down we're in now, yeah?
3rd tab down.
The
claw marks.
Yeah, see it.
Ooh, you lost the wolf. Yeah. So when you lose, you can go ahead and give yourself a point of rage back. Mm-hmm. When you lose the wolf as you're trying to activate something that requires a rage check, it doesn't activate, and you've lost the wolf. Okay, so something to keep in mind. But also note, and that I think you did, on the upper right hand corner of the gifts and the rights, there's a little chat bubble, and you can post the gift to chat so people can see it. And I might ask you to do that if I don't remember what your gift does. So be prepared to do that as well. Next down from that, we have the Wolf Head tab. That's where your shifting forms is. Now, in order to shapeshift, Dave asked this before we started. You're a werewolf, but you're not a Lon Chaney like full moon curse werewolf. Mm-hmm. You're a different thing. You were born a werewolf. You didn't know it until you shifted for the first time. But now you can shift forms as long as you have rage. You can attempt to shift at any time. Okay? The way that you do that is you just click where it says 1 rage dice, 2 rage dice, 1 rage dice, and so forth across the top of the forms, and then you'll shift and you'll gain the benefits of that form. The trick of it is, though, is that it does require rage checks. So to enter Glabro form, which is the near human, kind of like the Wolfman form, that's 1 rage check. To enter Krynos, which is your war form, it's the giant, like 9 feet tall, bipedal wolf combat monster. That's 2 rage dice. And if you try to shift and you lose the wolf, you don't shift. You shift when you lose the wolf, you shift instantly back to Homid form, which is human, or Lupus form if you're wolf-born, but none of you are wolf-born, so you all shift back to human. Hispo is the dire wolf. The dire wolf form is essentially a full wolf. It is a quadruped, but it is quite a bit larger than a normal timber wolf. So it won't be mistaken as one. It is kind of literally what you would imagine a dire wolf is in D&D. It's still massive, but it's a quadruped. It doesn't have functioning claw hands. It's on all fours. Strangely, the dire wolf form is often used by a lot of people who play the game as like a traveling form. Like if they have to cover a long distance, they'll shift into dire wolf form and just run.
It's bigger than the wolf, it'll run faster,
yeah. And then finally, Lupus is your wolf form. It is a normal wolf. You're still protected by the enhanced kind of defense, and you are, but you're immune to silver, just like in human form. And you can't. Well, I think you can use some gifts in Lupus form. So the wolf form, I mean, it's there if you ever want to use it to creep around and stuff like that.
I remember last time we played, I used gifts as a wolf. I remember.
Yeah, that's true. And there are some gifts that allow you to use them in any form too. It just depends on the gift. But yeah, you can shift whenever you want as long as you have rage. Now, Hirano and Hoglosk, which are weird words, they are kind of like, this will make more sense to you, Martin, but they're kind of like a humanity system or like a morality system almost. You start at 0, which is good because if either of those ever reaches 5, your character is retired. You are no longer playable because you're not driven to much. And they're different in different ways. So Hirano is basically like severe depression and loss. So you might take it if there's a major setback or tragedy. Hoglosk is unbridled, uncontrolled rage. So if people anger you or push you, or you might have to make a Hoglosk test.
Okay. Now,
the flip side to these, and this is what makes them tempting sometimes, is you can accept a point because just for free, right? If you accept a point of Hirano, you immediately increase your rage to 5, even if you were at 0.
Oh wow!
If you accept a point of Hoglosk, you immediately clear your willpower damage, even if it was maxed out.
Okay, so you can take a
because
point
you
of one of
accept
those
the rage, or in the case of Hirano, the depths of depression and loss drive your rage to spark up.
And then the Hirano and Hoglosk, can you bring them back down again through stuff? Or is it
Not easily.
Not easily, yeah.
It's possible, but it is not easily. And that's why it's also dangerous, because every time I tell you to make a Hirano or Hogloss check, you roll as many dice as what the rating currently is, or a minimum of one. So the more you accept or the more you gain, the harder it is to resist. And then the problem is, if I ask you to make a Hirano check and you fail, you gain a point of Hirano. If I ask you to make a Hogloss check and you fail, you gain a point of Hogloss. So the more you accept and the more you have, the more you start to slip.
So to make it easy, one's like, you want to... I was just going to say, to make it easy for me, so basically one is, if you want to calm down, you want to try and be sad, and if you want to, like, Hulk out, you try and get angry. Very, in the most simplest terms.
Yeah.
You take a point of sadness to calm down, you take a point of permanent anger to get riled up.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay, so those might not even come into play, but they're there. The next tab down is the diamond. That is your backgrounds, which, if you click on them, are described. Some of you have flaws. For example, Ida is hopelessly addicted. To what drug is up to you. But if you don't partake in your drug in a scene, then you're at -2 to all pools. If you do partake in your drug during a scene, it might have other penalties, but not everything. Right? It just depends on the drug that you pick. That's for Ida.
That's Ida. You're not a drug addict.
Oh, sorry. Okay, got you.
You have different flaws. Dave, you have a folkloric tell.
Yes,
where
howl.
People hear howling wolves whenever you interact with them, making social tests more difficult. You're also moon quickened and moon riled, which are benefits, in that the first time you see a moon in the night sky, you actually gain some additional benefits. So you all have different backgrounds and merits. Some of you have things like linguistics or day jobs. You can take a look at those, and if you have questions, you can ask. Your concept is just kind of a nebulous thing. The chronicle is just what I call it. Your patron spirit is the patron spirit of your tribe, and it does have a favor and a ban that you're going to have to track if you want to gain the benefits. In Ida's case, for example, her patron spirit is rat, because she's a bone gnawer. And let's see, rats. A bone gnawer can add a die to a dice pool used to find something lost or overlooked. So if that ever comes up and you're like, I'm kind of looking for something that's lost here, then you have to tell me I want to get my bonus die from being rat, right? But there's also a ban. Won't come into play because, well, it might, because we might have a couple of different sessions here. This might be 2 or 3 sessions, probably 2, but we might hit 3. The way the ban works is if you break the ban, then at the beginning of the next session, normally you regain as much willpower as your compassion or your resolve rating. But if you breach the ban of your patron spirit, you only get 1 flat. So you need to know what your ban is as well. So that's that. Then we have the toolbox. That's for equipment. Here's the thing about this game. Equipment doesn't really matter that much. It does sometimes give you benefits, but you can kind of put in there whatever you think your character might be carrying. If you're carrying a weapon, it will have a bonus if you use it. Some of you might be able to I might be willing to let you have a weapon, but I don't know.
Hockey stick.
Bonuses for weapon. Yeah, hockey stick's a good example. So like a hockey stick, I would say would probably give you a +1 bonus if used in melee as a part of a melee attack. And basically what that does is it's not a +1 die. If you successfully hit somebody with the stick, you get your successes plus an additional 1 point of damage from the hockey stick, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Weapon types also have damage types, which I kind of adjudicate as we play. So like a hockey stick would only do why did I just forget the name of the lower one? superficial. A hockey stick would only do superficial damage, whereas a pistol would do aggravated damage to a normal person.
What about an ice skate in the face?
An ice skate in the face could potentially do aggravated damage.
Yeah. Putting them on my...
To a normal person.
Putting that in my inventory then.
So then we have the ID card, which is your biography. The appearance I've kind of left up to you. I mean, these characters don't actually have appearances listed, but I picked just to have something in the picture spot. I picked something that I thought worked for those characters. Then you have a notes tab for public and private notes. The difference is if you put something in public, anybody who looks at your character sheet can see it. If you put it in private, only the owner of that character sheet can see it. So, and me, if that matters. Then there's settings, which actually I don't even know if you can see the settings tab.
I do.
2 gears.
Yeah,
I can see you.
Oh
Yeah.
well, that's for me. You shouldn't use that, so ignore that.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And then the last button is the lock and unlock. So that's your character sheet in total.
Alright.
Okay. Alright, so I can
Does
unlock
anybody
this
have any
stuff.
questions
Brian?
about the basic dice rules before we start?
Not about the dice rules, but are we allowed to give ourselves, I can't remember what it was called now. Where is it? What page? On Ep1, Harano or Hoglosk to fill our rage bars up? Or do you let us do that when it's appropriate?
You
in the
decide.
game?
But
Oh,
again,
you
keep
decide.
in mind,
Yeah.
What's the arm?
it's not necessarily good to start filling those up. But yeah, you decide whether or not you use those.
I'm editing
Now,
my,
point,
my sheet
I
already.
fills
What's
rage
the...
up.
1 point fills your rage up, yes.
Cool.
Now, there's other ways to regain rage, or not regain, but to gain rage. The first time you see the moon in a night, you automatically gain a point of rage. It's possible if somebody is pissing you off, and I can tell it from your role-playing, I might tell you, take a rage point. So, like, other than Harano and Hogloss, I control, kind of, when you gain rage. But you can also gain rage from some abilities and things like that, too. But there's also a ritual. I don't know if any of you know it, but there's a ritual that you can enact with your group that gives everybody a point of rage, which is particularly useful if anybody has lost the wolf and they've already seen the moon for the night or something like that. But again, I don't know if anybody has that ritual, so we're not gonna say that you do if you don't.
I gave myself a hockey.
Any other questions about basic stuff?
I gave a
Yeah, you can give yourself that.
Give myself a hockey stick and hockey pads, and I gave them a weapon value of 1 and an armor value of 1. Does that sound about right?
Are you just walking around with hockey pads on all the time?
Maybe not on all the time, but in my inventory. Aye, like in the boot of my car, aye, definitely. I've got ice skates as well, but I don't walk around with them in my hand.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
My characters and mechanics. So will you like this? I have toolbox for my character. Toolbox.
Yeah, you
Yes,
can have
what-
a toolbox.
Okie dokie.
Some of you can even potentially have a vehicle if you think you should.
I'm having ice
I
skates
find
and roller skates.
Idra to have loads of chunky rings on, so they're kind of like knuckle dusters. So she's like a goth.
Oh, sure.
So, you know.
Nice,
Yeah.
Martin,
Yeah,
nice. I
that would be
like that.
reasonable.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, she's got loads of stuff. She's got a pot of drugs somewhere, so she's got a cross pendant for Jesus, and it's stuffed with drugs. She's got a poison ring with coke in it, and a tampon with coke in it, just in case.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No one's gonna
Alright.
check it.
Oh.
No, hopefully no
That's
one's gonna
true.
check it.
It's actually
true.
genius,
Check
Martin.
it.
You'd be a devious woman, like.
I'd be a good drug dealer
So-
as a woman.
I don't want to give you a point of armor for the hockey pads, Oliver, because armor is usually like the minimum armor in this game is like a Kevlar vest, right?
Oh,
like it
okay,
has to be
okay.
actual armor.
Okay, cool.
Hockey
Flavor.
pads are cool, but they're not.
Okay,
I'll
flavor
tell you
item.
what, I will let if you're wearing them, if you declare in a scene that you're wearing them, I will let the hockey pads count as armor against things like baseball bats or if
Superficial
somebody's
damage.
trying to punch you,
Mhm.
stuff like that. But if somebody's shooting you or stabbing you, they're not going to help. Does that make sense?
Absolutely fair.
Okay.
What's the year? Is it? I presume is it like 2026 or is it?
So, it could be. It could also be the 1990s. It's not very clear.
Can I vote for the 1990s if it's a vote?
Sure.
Oh, it's just so I know whether to
let's
put
go for
like an
90s,
iPhone or a Nokia on my sheet because you.
Oh, actually, for one thing
definitely
that happens, for one thing that could happen, and the availability to do it, we'll say that the time period is at least early smartphones that have like web search capabilities.
The 2000.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
2000s anyway, probably
2007.
2010s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so
At the very least.
Let's say it's 2007. I like that.
Okay.
No, 2009.
I'll just put smartphone.
Can we say it's
Okay.
2009? I like that year.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
I don't mind.
I'm going to flush the chat log now that we played around with it a little bit so that we've got a clean chat for when we start. Any other questions, Dave?
Yeah, you were gonna say about the you might have, I don't think you've already said it about getting, if we lose the wolf, getting it back.
Yeah,
Or you
so
can cover that
if you
another
lose the
time.
wolf, any other method of regaining rage will work. So if you lose the wolf, but then
Okay.
you see the moon for the first time in the night, you'll
Get
get a
one
point
back.
of rage back. Or if somebody has that particular rite and you do the rite, you'll get a point of rage back. Or if you, as weird as it sounds, sometimes werewolves, like, to get the wolf back, they might just go to a bar and try and get into a fight. And
Oh yeah.
have somebody rough them up so they get a point of
My
rage
guy
back,
does
right?
that. That's my guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's part of what he does or did.
Okay.
Cool.
So,
My
Assuming
woman
we're
does
all
that
good,
as well,
let's go
which
ahead and
bites
get-
men.
let's go ahead and get started then. So, I'm going to move us to our first scene, which is Winter Creek. All of you know each other. You're all from or have at least spent a small amount of time in this small town in the Canadian North called Winter Creek. It's remote. It's not super small, but it's by no means huge. We're talking a few thousand people at most. It's populated by tough, self-reliant people, and there's a significant wolf population in the area. That if any of you had chosen the Wolfborn, you would have been from that population. What I want to ask you before we get into the actual narrative is, so have you been here the whole time, or have you left to do something else? I know some of your biographies say certain things, but you can also kind of riff it however you want to. Are you just coming back to town for the first time in a while, or do you still live here?
I had made it quite big in the hockey league, and I was playing for a big city team in the top league of Canadian hockey for women. But I had like a really bad leg break and was out for 9 months, and came back and was just never at the same level again. And I'm back to my small hometown. Yeah, well, that's what I tell people what happened. But I've started my career again at a smaller club near my hometown. So I've made a fresh start at a new club, much smaller, local.
Like AAA, probably not. Yeah. Okay. How about everybody else?
Jared, I left to the city where I worked in construction for a while, but I never really fit in. And I kept getting into too many fights because there was constant flow of people that thought they could take me on. So I gave that up and came back to the small town.
Are you coming back to try and slide back in, find a place to stay, looking for work, or just visiting?
because I grew up on a farm, so I think I want that farm life, that hunter gatherer life back.
Sure.
Well, I think that would be the way that I want to go.
Martin, how about you?
Are we in like a reasonably big city, or is it more like a town?
So this is a small town. This would be like a small farming community. It's on the edge of like a large wildlife preserve, but also there's just trackless wilderness around. The closest town is a couple of hours drive. The closest larger city is a couple of hours drive away. Maybe even like 3 or 4.
Yeah, so she went to university at the big city, and she got in with the wrong crowd with a few drug dealers, but also realized you can make money out of this. So you know what farmers are like. So she may be participating and encouraging the local populace to maybe do a little bit of drugs like they did.
Okay. Okay. And Theodore?
Yeah, Jonas, he left for the capital city of Canada, Ottawa, to study laws there because he wants to study more law into the Canada law and the territories and the reserve he comes from, which is close to this town, I reckon. And
Sure.
so he studies it for a few years, but he doesn't feel he belongs there because he misses the nature and misses his people, the band people in the reserve. So he comes back to the community, and it becomes essentially like the arbitrator for his reserve and the town, like in between if there's any issues and such.
Okay. So you all do know each other. As I said, you either grew up here or spent some time in your high school years here. Not only do you all know each other, you all also share a touchstone, which in Werewolf is an important NPC to your character, that if they are endangered or injured could lead to some Hauglosk or Hirano potentially. So all of you, hopefully fondly, although not necessarily so. Important just means important. It doesn't mean you love them. Although in this case, you probably have fond memories of Coach Mackenzie at the local high school, where you either attended your fully or had some stint at the local high school while your family passed through. In addition to that, not only do you all... go ahead.
Did he teach hockey if he's a PE teacher at the school?
Oh, he absolutely would have been the hockey coach.
Yeah, so there you go. I know him well.
Yeah, the high school hockey coach, yeah. Mm-hmm. So in addition to that, you all also know 2 other people. Well, 2 other guru, 2 other werewolves. One who goes by the name of Ashley, who lives in town with her wife. And another by the name of Darius, who also lives in town, is a rough word for Darius. He's around town, we'll put it that way. The reason why you know them is because shortly after all of your first changes, Ashley and Darius included, you were inducted into a local pack known as the Luna Bombers. The Luna Bombers are a pack of local guru who took you in, taught you about who and what you are, also gave you some ideas about what is expected of you as a werewolf, because there are, according to the lore and according to the history of the guru, there are expectations. Although, Gaia has never spoken to you personally. The Luna Bombers pack, when you were a part of it, was run, I guess. The alpha of the pack was a... man, where are my names? Oh, right, I've got my sheet right in front of me. A Marcus Oakhart. An older man, an older guru, starting to show a little bit of gray in his hair and silver in his pelt. And he was ferocious. In terms of the guru, he was an Auron. He was born born as in had his first change under the full moon. He's the full warrior spec. As Jared also is, if I recall correctly. And he drove the Luna Bombers to engage in a significant amount of, some people would call it eco-terrorism, but they called it working for Gaia, right? Now, you might have enjoyed that. You might not have. You might have tried to engage with it or tried to avoid whatever Marcus drove the pack to do. But at some point, you left. And I'll let you think about why you potentially left the Luna Bombers. And that's when you moved out to the big city or went on and did whatever else you did. Now, one final question I have to ask, though, is since you all know each other, do you consider yourselves as your own pack? Or are you just a group of werewolves who know each other at this point? Are you packless?
Put us on the spot. What do we think, guys? Are we friends or no?
Like semi-friends at least. I think it'd be easy to play if we're like,
Yeah.
I'd say because we all grew up here and we've all ended up back here. I think we would have packed together. Yeah.
Well, we all know the coach, so we would have all been at high school, so we would be at least semi-friends, I would imagine as well.
Oh yeah, I think so.
So that is pretty much the end of the railroading. I'll do is starting us in mid to late afternoon in Winter Creek. You have arrived in town and have re-met some of your friends. Trash blows in the wind, and the northern sun hangs low as it gets on to late evening. You've all decided to head to the Silver Saloon, the most popular kind of towny bar in town. And as you are all locals, however long you've been away, you're familiar with it and you feel comfortable going there. So you park, whether you've driven here together or individually, I'll leave that to you, in the parking lot of the church, which is nearby to the saloon. It's kind of the informal central square of Winter Creek. Obviously it's full on Sundays, but the parking lot is usually got something going on, whether it's a small farmer's market or just a group of teens hanging out. It's kind of the place where a lot of people meet. Bake sales happen during the day and drug deals happen at night. And right now, right now the lot is fairly empty. There's a few functioning cars, including your own, and a wreck that should have been towed away years ago that you still recognize. Nobody knows why it's still there. Parking lot is bordered by the church and the cemetery behind it. Silver Saloon Bar, your old school, which is nearby, and a gas station. Billboard advertising something called FOMO Hunting Company looks like a relatively new addition.
FOMO, like fear of missing out.
Maybe. It looks like it says something. It's hard to tell because it's been defaced with graffiti, but it looks like it says something about wilderness safaris, which that kind of stuff happens in the north, in rugged country. As you're all getting ready to head to the saloon, the town pastor is leaving the church, walking to his car. Some of you may have avoided him since your first change, fearing that your change priorities might be hard to explain. Do you want to continue to avoid him now, or do you want to engage with him?
I'm not. Me and the church aren't friends.
Okay.
I'm going to interrupt because in my head, Ida's obviously a little bit late, so she quickly drives in. I don't know what the name of the car is, but Elvira's cars. It's like a black. It's got leopard skin, full on Gothmobile. So she quickly dives in, and then is very like, she just like shows her cross and is like, hi, pastor, and then gets out to meet everyone. Because you guys know what's in the cross, so it's a bit of a,
So are you doing that to try and intimidate him, to try and make him not approach you?
It's more that so he knows that she is here, in like whether he is gonna take that as keep away from me or talk to her. She's very neutral, but she's here.
I'm here. Deal with it.
I'm here. Yeah, deal. If you want to do what you want to do with it.
Since you're being neutral about it, I will let you make an etiquette and charisma test. So start with etiquette, then select charisma as your attribute.
First skill, yeah. First skill roll for the day.
So etiquette, which I'm okay at, I think. And you said with charisma?
Charisma, yeah.
Okay.
You're not actively trying to manipulate him, so charisma's fine.
No.
You're a drug dealer. Should have some of that.
Okay. So you'll notice that one of the dice is a rage die. That's automatic. Every time you make a dice roll, a number of the dice are going to be replaced by rage dice based on how much rage you currently have. If you had had 4 rage, then you would have had 4 rage dice that you're rolling, right? Okay. So rage dice potentially can make, or rage can potentially make some skills harder, but as I said, getting a brutal roll on a melee attack or a physical action can be beneficial. So it's kind of a give and take, but rage is always factored in. So with 2 successes, we're going to say that he sees you, and he does kind of start to walk in your all direction, but he sees Ida and he sees her appearance and the vehicle, and he thinks better of it, and he turns and he walks onto his car and drives off. And he's leaving the lot pretty much as the sun is dipping below the horizon. And you can hear his vehicle kind of trundling off into the distance. It is important to note that you, being a werewolf, do not have necessarily any enhanced senses in your human form, but your other forms do have such. But still, you hear the vehicle, and just as you're figuring the vehicle is kind of out of sight, or out of hearing, it's a good distance away as he heads deeper into the kind of residential area to his home. You hear a loud growl, and a massive creature of sharp claw and tearing fang with bristling gray fur drops into your midst. This is a werewolf in the Krynos war form, consumed by rage, about to tear out your throats. It's only by chance that there are no passerby.
Oh, okay.
So, there's no initiative rolls in this game. I have described to you what is happening.
Yep.
You now have a split second to react.
Krynos.
So, what is everyone doing?
Is it male or female?
I'm going Krynos for my arm.
Could you tell?
Split second, man. Split second.
Yeah, it's split second. You don't have have the moment to.
It's the first thing I
look.
It's the first thing I look at. It's the first thing I look at. And there's a reason for this. I hate men.
Oh yeah, that's true.
This
is split second though. You're not processing.
I'm going to bite it off.
So here's what I
want. Male, because if it's in wolf form, it's technically
not a man. Yeah, it's a wolf.
Yeah.
So here's what I want for split second. You don't really have time to process anything like that. Although in the first round, I'll let you do that if you choose. I just need instant reactions to a full Krynos form werewolf dropping among you.
Yeah, I pass on the cloud
going Krynos.
I go in cloud route.
Okay, so shifting. It's not a free action, but you can shift and then still do something else. There is a penalty though. You'll have a 2 dice penalty.
So to shift, do we click the rage?
If you're shifting to Krynos,
start.
you click at the top where it says 2 rage points.
I lost
What?
the wolf.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, boy. I lost-
Stereotype,
oh,
what you
boy.
do?
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, no.
I'm looking between its legs. That's what I'm doing in my split second.
Yeah, I want to do like some athletic rocket move and jump as far back as I can and scream out, "Don't fuck my car up!" So if you want to do some like athletic jump backwards.
Okay.
So
Now that's also the kind of thing I'm looking for, because since you're declaring a defense, if he attacks you, I just gave it away, Oliver, then you will actually
Yes!
defend.
Yes!
Yeah.
I go for his nuts. Kill them
As a
off.
human?
No, I'm going to turn into a wolf first.
Which form?
The big bad one.
Okay, so go to the forms page and click on the 2 rage points at the top of the Krynos. Nope, you've lost the wolf.
Oh no!
no.
Got the double. I got the double
Why are
bogey.
you both rolling? Why are you? Oh, cause you have to roll 2 because it's Krynos.
I got the
Okay.
fucking double bogey. Does that mean nothing happens?
That's hilarious. You
No,
guys
it
are so
means-
sensible. You guys are so sensible, not transforming. I'm like, good job, guys.
Yeah, it means that neither of you are able to transform. You're stuck in human
no.
form for
I'm
now
still-
unless
still-
something changes.
I'll grab my hockey stick and I'm still going for his nuts.
What I do when
Okay.
I feel I'm can't change, I'm gonna run to my pickup truck and I'm gonna start and drive onto the wolf.
Yeah, that's a
interesting.
nice idea.
Okay.
I'll run the cunt over and I like it.
Is it did you say the moon had come out, or it's just the sun setting?
The sun is going down, so it will come up here very soon. You should be able to see it, but it hasn't happened yet. Okay, so what I need to know is, holy, that's too much. What? That can't be right. Jared does not have that much health. Does he? No, you only have 6. I don't know. Oh, you're in Krynos form. That's why you have that.
I am now. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that happens when you shift into Krynos is you get 4
2
additional
plus
health
health.
boxes.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
4? Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Jared currently has the most health, so he's going after you. You're also, I assume, attacking him, right? You're not being defensive.
Well, I
'Cause you're in
wanted
war
to do
form.
like a massive howl first and then attack.
Okay, so I'll let you howl as a part of it. That's no problem. Combat in Werewolf it's pretty fluid, but also it is contested. It's not just you roll against somebody's armor class and then you hit them, and then they roll against yours and they hit you. You and this wolf have to both make melee. Well, sorry, not melee. Brawl plus strength test.
Okay.
So yeah, start with brawl.
Do that now, yeah?
make strength. You do, yeah.
You got it. You got it.
That's a lot of dice.
Look at that.
3 successes.
That's not bad. Oh, did you subtract 2 from it?
No, I
Because of
just
the
sorry, I
multi-action
didn't.
penalty. No problem. It's fine. We'll just leave it.
No, I didn't.
Actually, I don't even know how to do that off the top of my head, so we'll just leave it. It's fine. What do I want to call him? We'll just say. There we go. Oh no. Okay.
Brutal outcome. Ooh.
So, since he is also attacking, the brutal counts as a critical success. 2 criticals, actually. So he has 6 successes to your 3. Now, what that does is he is slashing you with his claws, which is superficial damage. Your 3 cancel out 3 of his, so he does 3 points of superficial damage, but you also have that rounded down. Or no, rounded up as normal. So you take 2 points of superficial health damage as he slashes at you, seeing you as the largest threat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, out of that immediate interaction, Ida has dodged and has, made sure to remove herself from the immediate fray, which is not a bad move, but there's no roll you have to make since he's not attacking you. If he had attacked you, you would have made a similar roll, but if you had succeeded, you wouldn't have actually dealt any damage to him. Instead, you would have just got out of the way completely. Oliver, you get to attack with your hockey stick.
Okay.
It still says rolling on my thing, Brian. It just doesn't say. On the strange werewolf, it says rolling still.
So how do I roll an attack?
Yeah, it's just rolling. You're just rolling that many dice. So you're using a hockey stick, so it's going to be melee plus strength.
Melee and then strength.
Yep.
And I've got. How do I add the one bonus from the hockey stick?
No, that's added if you succeed.
All right. Okay. Oh, that looks pretty good.
4.
Oh, that was a lot of dice.
So you try to bring your hockey stick up between his legs, but being in his war form, he deftly leaps not just out of the way, but over your head and onto, we'll say, the wrecked vehicle, which sags under the weight of this massive beast.
Damn.
Theodore, you gonna try and drive your truck into the car that he's now standing on?
Oh, he's down the car. Okay.
Yeah, he left on top of the car.
Oh.
And I swear I didn't do that because you said you were getting... No, the wrecked car.
No, my fucking... Oh, okay. I said it was my car.
The wrecked car that I described earlier. And I swear I didn't do that because you said you were getting into your truck. I just thought of it had nothing to do with your plans.
Okay, but yeah...
But you're in your truck, you're safe.
Yeah, I'm safe, so I think... because I'm part of it... Because I'm in public transport, because I don't want to destroy another vehicle or machinery.
Right.
You see. So,
well, technically, that vehicle is already destroyed, but you don't want to damage yours.
That's true, actually. I will not. Yeah, that is actually very true. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I will not. Okay. I will probably take safety in my car. Yeah.
Okay. So, that's the end of the first round. Still seeing another werewolf in Crinus form, the strange werewolf glares at Jared and is clearly going to attack again. What are you all doing?
So, question. If I fail to turn, can I try again? No, because I've got 0 rage now. I've lost the wolf.
You have no rage. Yeah.
I'm gonna run to the boot of my car and grab an ice skate, and I'm gonna just use that as my weapon. I'm gonna try and hit him in the face with it. I'm gonna put it on my hand, the ice skate on my hand, so the blade's there, and try and hit him with that.
Okay. All right. Still melee plus strength. Give it a go.
Melee. I've lost it now.
Actually, that's what you're doing. What's Ida and Jonas doing?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Ida, I don't know if I need to do insight or investigation. She wants to try and figure out why he's attacking, because it seems a bit weird. So
that's
which one
very
would
good.
Which one would be best?
What you should probably roll then would be, insight and wits.
Okay, insight with wits. Okay.
Decent.
2 successes.
So you realize a couple of things. One, you know this werewolf.
Okay.
Oh.
It's Marcus Oakhart.
Oh.
The pack leader of the Luna Bombers.
And
okay. That then makes you realize you're on their pack's territory.
Oh, okay. But I only know this, right?
Well, you're the only one who's thought about it. Yeah.
I don't think my guy's got the intelligence to think of that. He's just going to fight.
Okay.
And what is Theodore doing?
Like I see my friends fighting this werewolf, so I'm gonna try to go out and take use a rock from the ground and try to distract it to make it easy for my friends to get a hit on it.
Oh, you're trying to distract him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make it easier for my friends to hit him.
Fair enough. Okay, so we'll start with yours and Oliver's attacks then. Because he's not going... I mean, he's going to essentially defend himself against both of you, but he's not going to openly attack either of you. So go ahead and you can both make your rolls. Melee and strength for Oliver.
Go for the eyes, boo.
And let's see, for Theodore, you're throwing a rock. Let's call that athletics and dexterity.
Athletics, okay. And dexterity, okay. Attribute, dexterity, and the roll.
2.
There we go, roll. Oh, there we look nice.
So, Oliver, you try and slash him with the ice skate, and he just pushes you to the side. Not dealing any damage, but basically bull rushes and charges you, and you just kind of get tossed to the ground as this beast rushes past you to get to Jared. And Theodore...
3 successes.
Yep.
I might take a point of that thing to fill up my rage bar, because I hate this guy. Cut his dick off.
Oh, look out. He's very good. Oh, boy. Oh.
So he tucks, almost preternaturally, he knows that the rock is heading for his head. He tucks and dives into a roll and comes up directly in front of Jared, rising with a claw that can eviscerate you if you don't defend yourself. So time for your melee, or your brawl and strength check.
I was going to say, it's brawl and strength, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. Brawl, strength. So, is it done it? Oh, you've just done yours. It says difficulty. Is that where I'd add that modifier that you said, or do I just leave that alone?
Leave difficulty alone.
Just
That's a
leave it
different
alone.
thing. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, fuck off. 10
No
successes.
thanks. Got 10 successes.
10 successes.
Wow. So how many does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. He only has 8.
Ooh.
And... yeah, claws deal 3, but it's only superficial. Were you biting, or were you using your claws?
Oh, fuck. Going all in.
So the difference is, claws do 3 additional damage if you hit. Biting deals 1 point of additional damage, but it's aggravated because it's considered a supernatural attack.
It needs to be against this guy.
I'll be biting because I recognize it as another supernatural thing.
Okay.
Because I'm not that unintelligent that I don't know what a werewolf is.
Sure.
And B, I know that that's going to inflict as much damage as possible.
Oh, also that reminds me. So this is the second turn you've been in Krynos form. You need to take 2 points of willpower damage because it takes 1 point of willpower to maintain Krynos per turn.
Oh.
And if your willpower ever maxes out, you go into frenzy.
Is that only with Krynos?
A different world entirely. Yeah, that's just Krynos. The other forms, once you've shifted, you can maintain them almost indefinitely.
Do NPC Krynos forms have that as well? Or do they not?
Not exactly. NPCs in this game aren't statted up the same way players are. It's one of those things to make my job a little bit easier. Let's just put it that way.
Understandable.
Okay.
Okay. So, also, in addition to that, if you want, because you have taken 2 points of health damage, as a part of your turn, this is not an additional action, it's just a part of your turn, you can... Oh, you've already taken a point of Hirano. You're at 4 rage. So you can make a rage check to recover a point of health, but you've only taken 2 superficial. So
I'm okay at the minute, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I move after that attack? Can I?
Sure. You
else?
can describe movements and however you want to do. Yeah, up to you.
So
if you want to make some distance.
Well, the size of this wolf, or is it like a 12-foot type thing? The Kronos.
Yeah,
like big,
just like you right now. Yeah.
So I'm gonna, if I can, jump or climb onto the roof of the saloon, so I've got a aerial advantage on him next time.
Okay, so the saloon is a bit of a walk away, and I will warn you that
I thought we were in the car park.
So you're still. You're closer to the church than the saloon at this point.
Okay.
So you can make it to the saloon because you're fast as shit. But
I'll want to stick around. I don't want to take the fight into the town just yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can see that there's lights on in the saloon, so like that might draw a crowd if you land on top of the saloon.
But I'll clamber
for
up
future
onto this
reference,
roof.
For future reference, like you probably could very easily leap onto the top of the saloon from the ground. You'd have to make a check, but you get a bonus on physical tests, so you'd probably make it. But yeah, so you can position yourself however you want, but I would imagine you're probably trying to maintain interaction with him. Are you not?
Yeah, but I still want to jump on the roof, because I want a height advantage on the next. Okay. Unless he follows me, in which case he'll leave my friends.
Why don't you go ahead and make an athletics and strength test to jump onto the roof?
Athletics, strength.
Mm-hmm. Easily.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I like all these dice.
Don't do it, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Dice pools
so
are
the
always
brutal
fun.
actually, the brutal would actually give you a bonus to that because it's a physical test. So you, with supernatural strength, just launch from your position up onto the roof of the church. Some of the shingles get knocked loose and clatter to the ground with your massive wolf-like paws just scrabbling against it. It is a peaked roof, so what are you doing to maintain your position? Are you like gonna...
Claws are dug in. Claws
okay,
are...
gotcha. Awesome.
Because I'm assuming they're like 6-inch or 3-inch.
Oh yeah, they're big.
So yeah, they're just going into the timber, whatever's under the roof tiles.
Fair enough. Don't forget to look at your gifts. Some of them might be useful.
I have had a look at some of them. Nothing yet.
As soon as this round's over, I'm going to step in and take over and shout something out.
Okay.
Once this round's over, obviously.
So that is the end of this round. So it is now the new round. If you want to start off,
I'm going to shout out and be like, guys, it's Marcus. I think we need to like restrain him or something.
Marcus, you son of a bitch! Ah! That makes me even more angry.
Then,
I never liked Marcus.
Well, I mean, that's up to you guys. Also, I'd say, Logan, like, I presume it's similar to, like, the vampire game is, we don't want to be drawing attention that there's some fucking massive werewolves fighting. Okay. So this needs to be, like, we would know, right? Like, quick and stealthy, so...
Yeah. So, a couple of things. I did mention before the wolf showed up that the area is kind of clear of onlookers for now, right? So that's your benefit. But it's a good question, and being that you're playing from, your experience playing vampire. So in vampire, there's something called the masquerade. It's a law that vampires have to protect knowledge about them.
Keep it secret.
But here's the thing: werewolves, A, don't have that law. And B, they have something else called delirium.
Okay.
Where if non-supernatural beings, humans, see a werewolf in their, particularly in Krynos form, it's likely that they will go crazy and run, and then later say, "Wow, that bear attack in town was crazy the other day."
Okay.
Now, that's not always the case, but there is something that seems to make people forget that werewolves are real.
But there's a limit, right? Like if this was
there is a limit.
Like, every few minutes, they're gonna.
There is
like,
a limit, and there are groups that hunt werewolves that know of them, and yeah.
Okay.
Also, there's a cost. There's a cost anyway. If we wolf out every 5 minutes, there's a cost to us physically.
Yep.
So we don't want to be doing that, and we need to do it carefully. One question: can we understand each other if I'm in this form and Martin's character's in human form?
Good
can
question.
We still understand each other? So like a telepathic.
You can understand English in every form, right? You can understand any language you speak in every form. Your mind is your own in every form. You can speak short, small number of syllable phrases in Krynos form. And while a human would probably just hear weird clicking, growling, other Guru can understand you.
Okay.
In Krynos form. You cannot speak... Well, that's not true either. You can speak in Hispo and Lupus, but the speaking is different. It's the way wolves communicate. So, like, you can understand other wolves, and other wolves can understand you in all forms. So yeah, good question.
That's my turn. The only thing I'd say is, can I maybe call Ashley? I know I'm not going to be able to talk to her, but can I like press dial and I'm trying to call Ashley, and then that's my turn done. That's my done.
Okay, cool. So you're calling Ashley.
Yep.
Good deal. What's everybody else doing? This is round 3.
Yeah, I think Joan is like the reason why he came to study laws in Canada, he wanted to get as well deeper into Garu customs and history. So Jonas knows maybe it's obvious for him now that this must be Marcus's territory to the lunar one.
Well,
so
now that you all know that it's Marcus, because Ida shouted it out, you all do know, you understand the basics of the fact that packs have territories. And generally, if you enter another pack's territory unannounced, that's a breach.
It's a territorial.
Yeah. So essentially, I'm going to try to plead with Marcus, shouting, "Marcus, I start you. We're sorry for coming unannounced. Please let us talk. Calm down."
Okay. Oliver?
Back up in the nuts with my hockey stick.
You are determined to hit this werewolf in the nuts.
I'm going to try again, aye.
That's fine. And, so, as you wind up to swing, it's very apparent that Marcus is still focused on Jared. So you're fairly certain he's going to come up after you. What is your plan? Are you staying in the fight?
No. I am going to revert form, but before I do, not to human though. What's Glabro? That's like the wolf man, isn't it? But you bipedal,
Correct.
But you've got the wolf features.
So
can I revert to that form? Yeah. But before I do, I want to shout in Krynos form, "Marcus, stop!" And then show him that I'm almost backing down. Not backing down, but
I was going to ask, how do you show
retreating
a raging wolf that you're backing down? Shifting down is good.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything else?
Hands up like that. Like, I'm not fighting. I'm done.
That's not how wolves submit.
I'm not getting on my fucking back and going showing my belly. That is not happening. That is not happening.
Okay.
I'll fight to the death if that's the case.
No, that's fine. I'm just asking. I'm not saying
I will. I won't. I will lower my head like submission.
Shove your arsehole.
Shove your arsehole,
So, to know each other.
Are you lowering your head and kind of moving your head to the side, like burying your neck?
Yeah, I'll submit, like showing. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm not fighting.
You do still have to make the shift to Glabro. The only forms that are free are human and Lupus.
Oh no!
It's fine. You have rage. You just lost a point of rage. You haven't lost the wolf. You're just down to 3
Oh, so
rage.
I still change. I just use.
You still
use
change.
the rage.
Yes. So
Got
as
you.
long
Got
as
you.
you still have the wolf and you have to do a rage check to do something, it
Got you.
succeeds. You just lost a point of rage. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah, the only reason why they didn't shift is because they lost the wolf. If they had failed but still had rage, they would have shifted.
Yeah.
If that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I've
so-
shouted to him, Marcus, stop, and then I've reverted and
Let's
do the show my neck.
Okay, I like that. Let's go ahead and Oliver, have you make your attack with your hockey stick, trying to go for them nuts.
4.
Wolfman's got nards.
4's not bad.
Oh, that's more than 4.
8's more than 4. Here's the problem. You're on the ground with him, and he sees, because all this kind of happens simultaneously, he sees Jared downshift and bare his neck, so Marcus turns on you and backhands you.
Oh, no.
And so you're going to take 4 points of superficial damage.
Okay.
So you have it, so it's 2,
How do I add that?
right? Because it's just superficial. You just click on 2 health boxes.
Yeah. Okay. And just one line.
As you get thrown into a nearby car,
Shit.
Not my car. Not my car. Any other car is fine.
that's fine. You get thrown into a nearby car, and the door panel like dents, and the glass
Oh, shit.
kind of spiders as your body just gets thrown into it.
I'm going to write a very angry poem about this.
So he's standing there hulking and growling. He's turned his attention from Jared to Shelly. And at that moment, a loud whistle pierces your ears. And the huge werewolf transforms into human form and backs away from the fight.
So can I
And you now
revert to
see-
human form now?
You
Then
can,
just
or you can
Glabro.
maintain Glabro. It's up to you. It doesn't cost you anything to maintain Glabro.
Oh, okay, I'll stay as I am then for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So, coming out of the deepening shadows, really just as full dark hits, and so whether or not all of you instinctively look up and see the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, though: if you want to regain rage or willpower or anything like that, depending upon your merits, you do have to howl at the moon.
Well, that's it. I'm going to.
Oh,
Because I've
definitely.
got one of my merits.
Definitely howling at the moon.
The moon stokes your rage
Oh,
to a degree, even beyond that of most other werewolves. You gain an additional point of rage when you first howl at the moon each night.
Yep.
Ow!
Now-
Yeah, I'm gonna howl too.
Where do I
So
find
here's
these?
what's funny with you, Theodore. Theodore howls at the moon, so you regain a point of rage. But you're also a moon thrall,
Yeah,
which means the first time you see the moon in an evening, you have to shift
I have
to
to
Glabro or Hispo.
I will transform to a Glabro. Let's see if that
Okay,
works.
make the check.
So he's gained 1 rage and do a rage check. Did I lose? No. Woof.
No, you succeed that time, so you're in Glabro.
There you go.
Okay.
Where am I looking for these things?
And-
They're like the
The
diamonds.
features, what are they called?
So you got background merits.
Yeah.
So
Each
you
merit
don't
is the-
you don't have anything like that. You have a folkloric tell. Other people will see your shadow
In werewolf form.
as your other forms.
Mm-hmm.
So since you're in human form, if somebody like really looks at your shadow, they see something that looks like a wolf instead of a human. You also have a folkloric bane that you've learned since you shifted, that if you touch moonstone, you actually suffer 1 point of aggravated damage. So no moonstone jewelry for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got your dog that was there the whole time, probably just hiding from the massive werewolf behind you.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I'm not letting my dog get involved.
But yeah,
I think.
Yeah, so, and for my character, I don't think it would be beneficial for me to howl, right, either. As the DM, I'll take your advice. I don't think for
so
Ada
you can howl at any time in the night, as long as you can see the moon.
Howl,
you
Martin.
can howl to.
Yeah, but I don't
rage.
I don't think I'm gonna keep mine then, because I don't get any
That's
benefits from it. Yeah.
So what do I get back if I howl? Do I get health back?
You do get a point of rage automatically. You just don't get extended benefits.
Can you get any health back from it, or is it just rage?
No. So healing only happens over time, or if you're in a supernatural form, Glabro, Krynos, or Hispo, you can make a rage check to regenerate.
Okay. So what do I get back for if I just howl at the moon? Just one rage, yeah?
You just get 1 point of rage, yeah.
Oh!
So yeah, after I will turn back to human if I can. After immediately howling. Or is it a little time in between?
Oh, you don't want to chill out in Glabro form? Doesn't cost you anything.
No, but I don't want a sudden random car driving by and see me in half-human form.
If somebody drives by and sees you in... So Glabro form doesn't cause delirium. Krynos form does. Okay. Hispo form also doesn't cause... Or no, Hispo does cause delirium. Lupus doesn't. Glabro doesn't, though. People that see werewolves in Glabro form are like, wow, they look beefy.
A big wolf.
Okay.
Maybe a little lupine.
Okay,
but
look,
you definitely look weird.
Wolverine-ish, sort of.
Yeah, I was thinking
a bit hairy, a bit of hair.
Wolverine in his most rage-drawn images is kind of what you look like, and bigger, of course, because you're not like 5'3" like Wolverine.
I'd stay like that all the time, me.
I mean, RX, I'm just wondering. I think Logan's trying to trick you into furry stuff. I'm just putting that out there.
No, we've
talked.
We've talked about it.
But you're not comfortable with. You need.
No, we've talked in depth.
Although there's nothing wrong with furries, it's not a furry game. I will say though, just so you're all aware, that maintaining a form other than Homid or Lupus, Krynos has a cost, but maintaining Glabro or Hispo you can do for an entire scene. But then when we change scenes, you're assumed to have returned to whatever your natural state is, and then you would have to shift again.
Oh, how long is the scene, or do we never know? It's just
scenes are. You never know, right?
Well,
so
I'm immediately doing some coke then, because I ain't feeling this scene. I'm just like, this was.
Oh yeah, you should have had penalties on your rolls.
I'm gonna just get some of my cross coke, put it on my very long fingernail, and just have a quick little snort to sort myself out. Yeah.
You've got to be pumping all the time, you.
I know, I have to.
I'll give you a look. Are you sharing? Well, I get to eat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, she's got cool goth nails, so of course it makes it easier for her to just.
Of course,
I'll dip a key in that if that's all right.
Fair enough. I'll let you have some. You've had a rough day. You couldn't turn into a wolf. So
appreciate it. Thank you.
If cocaine, hang on. If cocaine is your addiction, what I need to figure out is what is the penalty when you're on cocaine? Because you're using a drug.
Yeah, but it's like a cool, classy drug. So
it is cool and classy, but I think you'll probably just have like a -1 social penalty in some situations that I'll decide.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
And a +1 in other social situations.
Terrible,
just depends which circles you're mixing in.
Maybe.
I guess that's fair. She's gonna fucking
so at any rate,
play off when she answers in a minute.
We get a couple of howls go off. Ida takes a bump. And as I said, stepping out of the shadows behind Marcus, who is now shifted back to his normal form, comes another person that you know, name of Jaina Goodhowl, who is also in the Luna Bombers. And she has, you can see around her neck what looks to be like a silver whistle. She walks up behind Marcus. And although he's the alpha, she seems momentarily in control. Who's a theurge? Are any of you theurges?
No, I'm not a...
No, Bone Nora's Ragabash is all the stuff I've got on my sheet.
Sorry, theurge is your moon. I should have wrote that down.
Sheet's that one on?
Ragabash, Auron.
I think I'm the Guru one. Is the other thing?
Guru is
you don't have a
Werewolf.
theurge. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So Jaina shows up. And let me get back to my notes here. You know, again, as already discovered, that this is Marcus Oakhart, leader of the Luna Bombers. He's known, and maybe you learned this from other people, or maybe this is part of the reason why he left the pack. He's known to have fallen into Hauglosk.
Oh.
And is in that kind of fanatical state of zeal.
That's the anger one, isn't it?
Yeah. But he doesn't seem to be an immediate threat right now. Jaina is a tall woman. As I said, you see that whistle kind of on a cord around her neck. She's wearing a long coat, and she walks across the parking lot to you. And you recall that she's a Phylodox, which may have some reason as to why she was able to, quell his rage. But she says clearly, there's no reason to spill Guru blood tonight. She turns and looks at Marcus. Remember, Marcus, and the rest of you as well. These are the tenets of the litany. Respect the territory of another. The veil shall not be lifted. And the leader may not be challenged during wartime. And she said all this looking directly at Marcus, but then she turns and looks at all of you and says, so, please, what are you doing here?
I'm sorry. I know. Do I know Jaina from before? I know her name and everything. Or...
You all know. I
Yeah.
mean, you were in the Luna Bombers, so you all
Yeah.
know Jaina. I mean, she's
Yeah.
she's essentially the secondary leader. I mean, there's not really
Okay.
a secondary alpha, but like she is kind of that.
Yeah. So I look to Jaina and Marcus. We are very sorry, Jaina and Marcus. We just going to the pub for a reunion. We just came back together after being away from the town.
And then Marcus cuts you off with a growling, kind of rasping voice. He's clearly still suffering from this rage. He says, "Did you come to fight the worm with us?"
Fight the who?
Like we fight him.
The worm?
The worm. So the
Yeah.
worm
It's a dragon. It's surely.
It's not actually. It's a spirit.
Is it male or female?
So you all would have learned a little bit of the cosmology of the Guru. You might not be thoroughly involved in it as yet because you're all still relatively new Guru. But basically there is a hierarchy of spirits. At the top is Gaia, the spirit of the planet, which you are ostensibly charged with protecting.
That's our god,
Beneath
Gaia, basically, yeah.
Kind of.
Mother Earth,
Yeah.
nature.
Beneath Gaia, there is the Triad, and the Triad is the Wild, the Weaver, and the Worm. These are natural forces. They are spirits, but they're forces. They are beyond what you would think of as a spirit that you can speak to, as much as Gaia is. And none of them are evil, but none of them are good. And currently, the Worm is ascendant in this day and age. As you've been told by the Luna Bombers as they kind of initiated you into the secrets of the Gru, but you've also kind of seen it yourself with the pollution and the corruption and, companies destroying the land. And even as you're remembering this, Marcus continues and says, the worm's spawn is killing wolves. It cannot go unpunished. He says it's the FOMO Hunting Company. And Jaina continues for him. They organize hunting trips for tourists where they shoot wild wolves from helicopters.
Wait, are they puzzle? They're promoting hunting wolves.
I mean,
it's right there.
I just gonna be like, well, I'm here. I'm a journalist. I'm here for justice, so I'm pretty sure we can help you out.
Killing wolves.
So Marcus seems to soften a little bit on hearing you say that you can help out. What's everybody else saying or doing?
I'm pissed off.
Why don't we just, if that's the case, why not just get rid of them? Get rid of the owners of this hunting place. Just disappear them.
So Marcus turns to you and nods, and he says, "That's the plan."
Point me in the right direction.
Count me in.
But wait, I thought
what's his
the
name?
reserve was protected by the national laws, by the Canadian laws.
There is, well, you can do some research on that, but I'll reiterate, there is a reserve area nearby, but there is also just trackless wilderness.
Okay.
So not all of it is necessarily protected.
I will ask, what's his name, the owner of the company, the FOMO?
He turns and looks at you. He's like, I don't know. Dead. That's his name.
That works. That works.
Jaina says, Marcus, we should go. And Marcus says, just a minute. Turns back to you. We must kill everyone who works for the company and all their hunters, too.
Whoa. Do we need to do that? We just need to cut the head off the snake. We don't need to...
Chop it into bits.
He turns and looks at you. They're all servants of the worm.
He makes a point. I'm not disagreeing with him, Jared. I'm not disagreeing with him.
So some people can be misled and told it's all legitimate, or
that's fair.
You know, they might be.
Are you still talking out loud?
They're doing. Yeah.
You can see Marcus
to Jared, to Marcus as well.
As you're continuing down that path of reasoning, which I'm not saying you shouldn't as a player, but as you're continuing down that path, Marcus shifts into Glabro form, and you can see him getting more and more angry.
There's no reason. Me now. There's no reason to hunt wolves. So they're only hunting wolves for sports. Wolves are not food. Nobody eats wolves. They're just hunting us for sport.
And
I'll kill them all.
He turns and snaps at you in Glabro form. He barks at you. Because keep in mind, he's the alpha in this territory. He is demanding respect.
We're little bitches. I'm gonna talk to Jada. I'm like, tell you what, like, let us come up with a plan, and we'll talk to you tomorrow once we've. I'll tell her I'm a journalist. I'm pretty good at researching. I can maybe find out about the company.
Okay.
Because I'll also.
So at that, Marcus turns on you and he says, "Meet us here the day after tomorrow. The crescent moon rises, and when it meets the sun, that is when we must strike." And Good Hal just kind of leans out from behind him and says, "So around 10 o'clock."
Yes, okay. 10 o'clock.
He's been all biblical and Latin and shit. Aye, 10 o'clock, mate.
See, I should have taken weed as a drug, because then I could have given Marcus some weed to just mellow him out.
Chill him out a bit, aye.
I think coke will help.
So here's the thing that you're guessing about Marcus, because as I said, you've heard that he's fallen to Hauglost. Hauglost is, like, if Marcus were a player character, he would no longer be playable. He is lost in rage. And all he can see are targets.
And this is my thing. I think he's gone bloodlust, saying everyone needs to die. I don't think they do.
That's fair.
I think if we take out the owner of this hunting business.
Okay, so again, he's giving you a deadline. Day after tomorrow, 10 o'clock. At that point, they walk away, and they leave you to your devices. You assume, because the attack has ceased, that you're okay to be in their territory now. For the time being.
I was gonna say I'm gonna mark his territory.
Take a piss.
Just
cock my leg against the wall. Start pissing.
You were gonna let him fuck you, so it's gonna go a bit bad for you, mate.
He wouldn't have had a chance.
It is full dark. The moon is up. There's warm, welcoming light streaming from the windows of this the saloon. You can talk here. You can head over to the saloon. Whatever you want to do.
I fancy a drink after that.
Or you can go
for a
anywhere.
drink. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. So, did you put your call on with Ashley on hold? You can hear Ashley's voice like, Ida, what's going on?
I would have been like, trying to like talk to her at the same time.
Okay, yeah. So what do you want to say to Ashley?
Well, I was just gonna say like, so we just got back to town, or have we been here a few weeks?
You're just now coming back to town. You may have been in and out before, but like now you're coming back, right? So this is the first time you're in town today. Okay.
So I'll just ring Ashley and say, I know it's been like a few months since I've seen you and your lesbian wife's children, but Marcus is trying to kill everyone, and just wanted to say hey, and if you know anything.
Yeah, she's like, what? Did you not let them know you were coming?
It's like, I forgot, like, I got excited, and I forgot the rules.
Jesus, girl, you gotta let people know when you're heading back into their territory. This is basic stuff, don't you remember?
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry I missed all your kids' birthdays.
So, what's funny is, so Ashley, I like that you're trying to add that in, but they don't have... Well, they maybe would have had some time to adopt a kid.
It's Canada, very progressive.
They can adopt
kids, yeah.
If I fake tell her that she's got kids, she's like, I can't get kids. Like,
no, it's so the issue is because I mean her wife is like a town clerk, like they could have set all that up. But the thing that you know about Ashley is actually wolf-born. Like she's only been a human for a couple of years.
Oh.
And she's fallen in love and kind of gotten into this like home nesting phase. She was in the Lunabombers for a while, but she left as well.
Can humans and wolves breed with each other?
Well, I mean, she can be a human now.
Yeah.
So she's a reverse fairy.
She was just born as a wolf.
I love that. RX, you're so gonna get tricked into shit, mate. It's a reverse fairy.
Reverse fairy.
So in the game, the possibility of wolves becoming werewolves. I mean, being a werewolf is genetic, right? So if you have a parent that was a werewolf, there's a chance that you could also become a werewolf. It's called being kin, and werewolves can often detect when someone is kin. There's also rituals and things that they can do to specifically look for kin. That's actually where a lot of the legends of people getting bit by werewolves come from, is that when a werewolf knows that there are kin nearby, they will keep watch on them, oftentimes in wolf form, because it's easy to hide and get around as a wolf. So people have these menacing visions of wolves following them. And sometimes a werewolf will bite, not to kill, but bite a kinfolk to get the taste of their blood so they can track them.
Oh, so cool.
Then they shift at some point, right? They go through their first change, and that's where the legends of curses and being bitten and turning into a werewolf.
The bite causing the lycanthropy, but it's not. You were born with it.
Yeah.
The bite was just another werewolf tasting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Love it.
Okay,
I'm like, oh, I see we should meet up now. So it's like, drink? Now?
Yeah, let's
I can meet you, Saloon.
Yeah, I was like, I'll see you soon.
Okay, let me tell Sarah I'll be out. I mean, she's
like,
fine with it.
You always have to tell fucking Sarah, don't you? I mean, Jesus Christ. And then I put the phone down.
All right. So yeah, she lives on the outskirts of town, so it's going to take her probably 20 minutes to get in. They've got a nice little farmhouse on a lake, and it's beautiful. Might even be where you're planning on staying while you're here, unless you have other accommodations. They do have guest rooms, and you all have been known to visit at one point or another. So what are we doing now?
I I feel me and Ashley were pretty close, but she also knows I take drugs, so she might not want me near her imaginary kids.
I mean,
So-
It's
being
Canada.
werewolf is hard. I don't
We're
think
all
that
super
she's-
progressive.
I think if you guys have had a discussion about it in the past, she's probably basically been like, just don't do it in front of my kids, right?
Yeah, she knows about the tampon and stuff. Yeah, she's never doing it for the kids. Cool. Bar? I'd be like bar.
or Sarah, because Sarah's a town
Bar.
clerk. She's a town official. So
Okay.
Is
I
Sarah
reckon
human?
Sarah likes to Sarah likes to party. I reckon Sarah's fully into
Is
it.
Sarah just a human?
Sarah does like to party, but Sarah's just human. Yeah. Yep.
And right, and I just
Because
want
she
to,
doesn't
I
know
just want to, I
anything
just want
about-
to, check the genetics, right? So, if a werewolf and a werewolf have a baby, will it definitely be a werewolf or a chance?
No, it's a higher chance, but it's not definite.
And and if a werewolf and a human have a baby, it's a lower chance, but there's still a chance.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
correct. It is maybe a bit odd to you that so many werewolves kind of were born in this area. I don't know if your characters would think about that and wonder if there's some reason for it, but
Well,
it's not like
some Canadian werewolf who's a
in a
mad
town
shagger
of a
and has
couple of
loads of
thousand
descendants.
people. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, possibly.
Like a certain percentage of the world's population is descended from Genghis Khan because he was a mad shagger.
Attila the Hun.
Attila the
Or,
Hun.
Yeah, Genghis Khan.
No,
yeah,
it was Genghis Khan. Yeah. So like a certain percentage
It was
of
Genghis Khan. You're right.
werewolves are descended from some mad
It's a
shagger of
large
a werewolf.
percentage. Yeah.
Aye, it's something like 6%.
Okay,
of
so you're
world's
heading to the
population.
saloon?
It's high.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
drinkies.
like almost all buildings in town, the Silver Saloon is low and wide. Let's go ahead and head there. Its interior is painted beige and dark brown with exposed woods. There are beer ads and bottles packed in fridges. There's a television on one wall showing ice hockey.
Ooh.
You're not sure if it's current, but it is just dark, so it could be a live game. There's a pool table, a jukebox, dartboard for additional entertainment. Beers on tap. You can order shots, get a burger if you're hungry. You know, you've been here before. Before your first change, the stuffed polar bear in the corner was just a regular hunting trophy, but now it might make you slightly queasy to know that somebody hunted this majestic beast and stuffed it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been some time since you've been here, but you see some regular faces, mostly middle-aged guys with mustaches, baseball caps, enjoying their beers. They give you a brief glance as you enter. Maybe some eyes linger on Shelly and Ida. And then they turn back to their drinks.
If any man gives me any lustful look, I will give him the fucking worst resting bitch face of his life. I'll scowl at him so hard.
Fair enough. That will affect your social interactions with some of these men. All right.
Good. All of them, please.
I'll
And by the way,
order some drinks.
Dave and Martin, see that picture? That's 100% a bar in Britain, isn't it?
Let me have a quick
I've just been trying to work out, but yeah, the taps give it away.
I
It's
think I've
very-
even been to that. I think I've
Yeah.
never even been to that bar.
I might be banned from there actually.
It's definitely country pub style.
It was a nice bar picture that I found.
It's
Don't
good.
tile
Yeah.
floors,
It was a
the
nice
natural
picture.
wood and all that.
Get off my nuts.
No, we're not on your nuts.
It works.
It's beautiful.
It works.
The non-matching
I like
stools.
it.
It's very it's like every bar I ever go in.
It's towny, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm gonna tell everyone
So-
to chill. I'm gonna tell everyone to chill the fuck out, but I'm also coked up, so I'm probably just saying, "Chill the fuck out."
Chill out, everybody! Chill out!
So
Yeah.
no, just to keep you true to what's going on with your characters, this is a new scene. So you're gonna have
Okay,
to take
so-
another bump if you
But-
don't want to take that penalty to everything.
I follow. If Ida goes to the
That's
toilet, I'm gonna
as
follow
well.
her.
Just did a bump.
Right.
Did a bump.
You did a bump last scene. This is a new
Oh, I
scene.
have to do a bump every scene. Jesus.
Every time the background changes, it's a new scene.
Welcome to being a
Right,
drug
I'm gonna
addict,
want
Martin.
to-
It's not as easy as we make it look
Yep.
like.
I'm gonna be like girl up with Shelly. I'm like, Shelly, you want to go to the bathroom and spend 20 minutes talking in the cubicle and have a bit of coke?
Absolutely.
Bring Shelly in.
Absolutely, I do.
Get Shelly addicted.
Well, she's not here yet.
I'm
So
not.
what are you guys doing while you wait for Shelly?
Drinks.
No,
Order some drinks.
I'm Shelley.
Oh no, RX is Shelly.
Oh,
Ashley.
Sorry, not Shelly. Ashley. Yeah, Ashley.
Yeah.
Drinks.
Oh, so right now you're gonna ask Shelly if she wants to go into the bathroom.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
both,
I'm
we're
like,
going
let's
to the
just
bathroom.
chill
Powder in your
out because
noses.
Yeah, powder our
Okay.
noses.
Fair. Yeah.
Both sides.
So Shelly's gonna partake as well.
Oh yeah.
hopefully.
We
Well, I mean,
women.
she's already got penalties because she's mean mugging all the guys in here. So
We women always go
What's
to
a
the
lot of
bathroom
coke on top of
together
that?
for safety
Easily
and for
led.
cocaine.
Yeah.
Easily led.
And to do coke. That's
to be
why we're gonna
fair,
go
for
the
safety
toilet.
makes a lot of sense. There's only one woman in here, and strangely, you all remember her. She's an older-looking woman. She looks like she could be half, possibly even full Dene, which is one of the local indigenous tribes.
Oh, do I know
Native.
that?
Area?
From there?
Well, you all definitely know her. Her name's Greta.
Okay.
Are you
Greta?
She has.
are you a native on your human side, Territor?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
okay.
native.
He is. She's been the bartender at the saloon since you first, came in here with fake IDs in high school. You assume she's the owner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, she's got a couple of people that work with her. Obviously, she can't tend the bar 24 hours a day, but she's always here, always has been.
Is she an attractive woman?
You do recall. Oh, she's old. Like
I
she's,
didn't ask if she was
she's
old, but
gotta
yeah,
be
it's old.
her skin is not smooth as it used to be. You remember her being attractive when you were younger, but again, that's been 20 years maybe. Depending upon how old you all are. I'll just say roughly 20 years. So
Yeah.
it's been a while, but she looks healthy. She looks fit. You would guess her to be in her late 60s, early 70s, though. Still full head of hair, gray, dangling either side with not a full braid, but like bits of braid on either side, and a bit of an indigenous style, maybe like a fusion of her own. But yeah, the consensus around town has always been that she is not to be trifled with. People like her. She's kind of a motherly figure to a lot of people, but you don't mess with Greta.
Okay.
I'm gonna quiz Shelly while she's on coke while she's really in town. That's what I'm gonna do in the bathroom.
Okay, so
Okay.
My
I'll-
journalistic skills.
So yeah, we'll have a little scene. So I'll tell you that I mean it's true. It's true I've come back and I'm playing for a much smaller team in a much lower league, but the reason wasn't because of an injury. I turned on the field, on the hockey field in the middle of a game, and I almost killed like a whole team full of players on my own team and the opposite team, and there was a lot had to be done to cover it up, and yeah, I'll never be able to play in the pro leagues again. Yeah, so that's why I'm now an amateur. There was no injury. I'm still an amazing hockey player. I should be a pro, but I can't because of what happened.
I'm like, shit, bitch, take another bump. There you go. I'm like, there you go. Have the whole thing. It's cool. Your life.
So
You have more problems than me.
when she tells you that, Ida, you probably recall what you would have thought at the time was like hack reporting about somebody letting like a Great Dane, well, not a Great Dane, it would have been like a Mastiff or something, got loose on the ice during a practice and attacked several of the players. And it lines up, so that could have been like what other people remember as just this massive dog-like thing that just started attacking players. Because again, your first change, just so everybody's clear, when your first change happens, you go into Krynos and you rage.
Kill
You
people.
basically enter frenzy for the first time.
And I was
it's very common that you end up killing people.
And I was in the top league of professional ice hockey, women's professional ice hockey in Canada. So it was on TV in front of millions. It was massive.
And what would have happened? What would have happened is like, because I haven't mentioned this yet. In case anybody is wondering, none of you have ripped and torn clothing, and I'll explain why in a second.
It doesn't, right? Okay.
But during your No, I mean it does, but I'll talk about why it doesn't for you.
Oh, okay.
But during your first change, your skates would have ripped off, your all of your pads would have exploded off of your body as you took full Krynos. And probably the reason why you didn't end up killing anybody is because you were falling on yourself on the ice.
Skating about the ice,
and just flailing. Yeah. So
that would be funny if Dave's character was just walking around naked, and like we'll go back to that in a minute.
I should have mentioned this before.
I very nearly asked it, and then I thought, no, Brian's got to address this at some point because we just hulked out, and then we reverted back like.
So at least one of you, I forget who it is, but it might even be Ashley or Darius. At least one of you has a rite called the Rite of Dedication. Which...
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. So the Rite of Dedication is basically done in a group, and you all probably still are quite in touch with each other because you need to renew the rite with some regularity, because it enables an outfit and small items to shift with you when you shift. The downside to it, and this is the reason why a lot of times werewolves end up being a little bit of an outcast unless they find some other way around it. You cannot clean your clothing with anything that is unnatural. So if you make natural made soaps like Ashley does, and you wash your clothing in a stream as opposed to in an industrial washing machine, then it will maintain its dedication. But if you just throw it in the washer with some Tide, the dedication goes away and you'd have to rededicate an outfit.
Not a word.
So the assumption, at least the assumption I had, because I don't want to be mean and have everybody running around naked, is that you've all recently rededicated your clothing.
You kind of do want to run around naked.
No, you do, Martin. You want everybody running about naked.
I mean,
so now,
fun.
I'll also point out that as you guys are you're having your conversation in the bathroom, and the gentlemen are having a drink. Greta asks you if you want any food, for example, as well.
Yeah, well, like some...
it's a bar menu, burgers, apps.
Burgers, fries.
Yeah.
Right.
So while you guys are waiting for your food and having a couple of drinks, it dawns on all of you that Jaina actually quoted the litany at you.
Yeah.
So the litany is kind of like rules for werewolves, but here's the thing. Nobody really cares anymore. Some people do. Some people are, purists that stick to the old litany, but ever since things got bad, a lot of people have started kind of moving away from it. So when I told you earlier that there's no law against revealing that you're werewolves, there is in the litany the rule about not piercing the veil. But the veil is more than just that werewolves exist. The veil is the separation between the real world and the spirit world. And so that's kind of one of werewolves' original jobs, is to maintain that. Now, the reason why Marcus was talking about the worm and what you're all kind of thinking about as you have moments of your own thoughts is that if Marcus thinks that this hunting company are servants of the worm, you know that that's possible. In your time with the Luna Bombers, you have fought people who were possessed by spirits beholden to the worm. Sometimes they're called Fomor or Fomori. Sometimes they're called Banes. But you have fought them and you have destroyed them. You know that this is a thing. But they could also just be humans running a company, right? That's as likely.
Is that? But the company's called FOMO.
I was going to say that the company being
It's
called
called
FOMO,
but it's not called FOMOR.
It's not a coincidence.
Is that no correlation
it's
at
not.
all, though?
It's not a coincidence.
Well, we don't know yet because we've not done any research.
Nah, it's
So
clearly
I mean, you
not
got
a
smartphones.
coincidence.
Do you want to do some research on the company?
Yeah.
I want to tell.
I'll let the nerds do that.
I'll do that. But I want to tell
Yeah.
Shelley something. So I'm guessing Shelley's a bit upset about what happened, and my character actually does have a right where she can't like erase the past, but she can fuck up data, which I'm imagining would include like video footage.
Yeah.
So she might be able to help you and not make everyone forget what happened, but I could possibly help you like get rid of all the evidence that's digital and stuff. So she's going to tell you
that is-
footprint of it. Yeah.
That is a
we can
really
make
good
it
thought,
zero.
and I'm glad you read the right and processed that. But her first change was years ago.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
that right is more for like, we just broke into a building. Let's
Oh, okay.
do this right and
Dates
make
are
sure
in
that
Yeah,
there's
that
not-
that damage
right.
is long done there.
Yeah.
Okay. Try Shelley.
Also-
Shelley.
Shelley's right though. I mean, Oliver, it's good that you process that because it would not be a good idea for you to be a professional hockey player, right? If somebody slams you up against the wall in just the wrong way,
Yeah.
you
They're
could
going home with no head.
The thing is,
Yeah.
if I play at the amateur level, I'm like leaps and bounds better than them. I can skate circles around them, so they don't get me mad. I don't get angry playing against them because
Right.
I'm skating circles around
Yeah,
them.
amateur is different than yeah.
Yeah, I'm professional
That
level.
actually
I'm-
makes me think of something important. Is Shelley pissed off that all the men in the bar looked at her and Ida when you guys came in?
Yeah, she hates men.
Okay, well, take a point of rage then.
Yes. Fuck these men.
All right, so yeah, what are you doing? I mean,
Okay,
I can tell you
food,
everything that happens.
Drinks.
Yeah,
That's it for me.
We've got 2
Trade
days
drinks
to
and while we
make a plan, so doing some research on the company, I suppose.
How
Yeah,
I mean,
I can
I've got my journalistic skills as well, so I'm pretty sure. And Ashley's going to be coming eventually. But we're going to
Yeah.
take a break. We're going to take a break, right, in a minute before we do all this.
we are. I just want to know, like,
Okay.
what is your process
okay.
going to be for research, right?
yeah.
So-
for me,
If you,
for me,
you guys are
I'm
doing
gonna
research, sorry,
No,
go on, Matt.
go ahead, Martin. What are you planning
I'll
on
use
doing?
because I've got all my journalism stuff. I'll try and just do the higher level stuff, like talk to my contacts as opposed to googling stuff. So I'll just like see if I can get any info on the company, and obviously when Ashley comes, I'll see if
Okay.
she knows anything else. Yeah, what I'll do.
And Theodore, what are you going to be doing?
Like, I will check if the company has permit to even hunt wolves in the first place, like in the laws of Canada. And I will
Okay.
as well contact the tribal chief of the Den people to see if they have heard any of these hunters going to the reserve to use as evidence, maybe, against the
Okay, so
hunting company.
just so you're clear, the reservation is different from the wildlife reserve.
Yeah, I know that, yeah. But just in
okay.
case if they were going to the reserve
Yeah.
hunting. Yeah.
Okay. Oliver, are you going to be looking into anything?
No, because Ida's a professional journalist and she's doing research. I think I would like to talk to some people that maybe local people that know people that work for the company, but I don't want to talk to any of these men in this bar, so I'm just gonna do nothing for now.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell
And
Shelley. I'm
Dave?
like, Shelley, behave. I'm like, Shelley, behave.
I'm
Well,
trying.
there is Greta at the bar. She's
I'll
not
talk-
a man.
There you go.
That's-
I will
was gonna
talk to
say,
Greta,
but if you
actually,
want
yeah.
to talk to Greta, and
You talk
I'm
to
going to
some of
reach
these
out.
men.
Well, I'm going to talk to some of the guys over on the pool,
Aye, I'll
playing
talk to
pool.
Greta, right.
Some of the guys playing pool, and I'll
Sure.
mingle between
All right.
and chat with them about it.
Well, let's take our break, and when we come back, we'll deal with those investigations.
Sweet. Awesome. for about 13 minutes, Twitch. Love ya. And we're back for part 2.
All right. So back in the Silver Saloon, we've made some decisions on what we're going to do. Ida's going to make some calls, I assume. Theodore is going to do some research, probably on a smartphone. It's not like there's a computer terminal just sitting in the bar.
Yeah.
Dave is going to speak to some of the locals, and Oliver's going to talk to Greta. Who wants to go first?
I'll go last. I'll watch the hockey game for a bit.
Okay.
I'll go second to last.
Okay, I can check my smartphone for their permissions and laws and such.
So you're looking. It's funny that you say that. I wasn't expecting anybody to come onto it so immediately, but give me an intelligence and an academics plus intelligence test.
Plus intelligence test. Okie dokie.
Good luck.
Confirm. Thank you. Let's see. Roll.
Oh, nothing.
Now that you failed, I could have talked about this earlier, but this is kind of a relaxed scene, and it's something we can discuss a little bit easier here.
Yeah.
You can spend willpower to re-roll dice.
Okay.
If you right-click on where it says failure,
Right-click.
one of the options is willpower re-roll.
Okay. Yeah, I think I will spend a willpower.
That will give you, and then you have to pick 3 dice to re-roll.
Okay. I will do that. Willpower re-roll. And pick 3 dice. Yeah, okay. Let's see. I will pick...
Probably not the
re-roll.
rage die.
Oh, never mind. I already did.
Oh, well, that's fine. That succeeded.
Yep.
So this takes you a while, and you're kind of head down in it, doing your research. I'm going to say so much so that even if something happens with Dave talking to the locals, you're not going to be engaged.
No.
Because one success is enough, but it's going to take you time, right? So you are just focused in your law and legal knowledge. Now, to that end, you discover a few things. Short answer, based on what you've found, which I can show you here.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Short answer is hunting wolves from helicopters is not legal.
Oh, it's not legal. Okay, that's good. Okay.
Hunting wolves in Canada is legal.
Okay.
During certain periods and in certain areas. You cannot hunt wolves on protected land, for example. But hunting from a vehicle, specifically an air vehicle, is a no-no, right?
It's a no-no, okay.
And
From
you
vehicles,
can
especially
see
vehicles.
that's on there somewhere.
7.
There's a reason why I took a
Yes.
screenshot
7
of
have
it.
a
Is it
loaded
7?
firearm?
Yeah. Have a loaded firearm, live ammunition,
Bolt,
breech, chamber, or magazine.
Aircraft.
In or on or discharge a weapon from, any kind of aircraft or vehicle, whether it's moving or stationary.
So they're at least
So
making 2
technically,
laws then. Yeah.
It is illegal.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, not technically. Factually, it is illegal.
Yeah, factually.
So a
Okay,
boat that is
okay,
moving
that's
due to the momentum imparted by a motor or sail. So you couldn't go on a motorboat or a sailboat, but you could go on a rowboat. Technically.
Yeah, because you have to row it by hand, so it's basically saying anything that's powered
Yeah.
other than by you.
Yeah.
Can't hunt from vehicle, can't shoot from vehicle. Okay.
Is this just hunting wolves, or is this hunting in general? Because
This is hunting in general, but that, of course,
Yeah, so
includes wolves.
yeah, because
And if you really wanted to, that's a real website. I found it. If you wanted to screen clip that HTML and go to it, you can.
Okay, we'll do that and keep it for later. Yeah, let's see.
Those are the laws in northern Alberta as of 2025.
Can't hunt or
So, yeah.
shoot from
Short
moving
answer,
vehicles.
It sounds like what they're doing is illegal. Okay.
Okie dokie. Yep, that's good.
But it took you a long time to find that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like
It's
focused.
not
I'm
terribly
looking
difficult
at
to
my
find,
phone
but maybe you were. I'm going to say that because with just the one success, it's actually pretty easy to find, but you actually went down several like rabbit holes and got distracted by other things until you finally found the actual ordnance.
And it's 2009. Yeah. It's mobile internet in 2009. It took 10 minutes to load each page.
That's true. It takes a while.
Yeah.
Probably got a weak signal here.
Yeah, we're
having to scroll and
in
look
the wilderness
through.
in northern Canada in 2009 on 3G.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the best.
And you would have looked at a little bit of porn now to watch for the picture to load very slowly.
That's true. Yeah.
Unless you wait to look at it, yeah.
Just a smidge of porn.
Okay, so that's Theodore, and unfortunately he's consumed in that, so nothing else that happens with anybody else is he going to be able to involve in.
Yeah, no worries.
Ida, who are you calling?
Yeah. Just kind of my contacts, because just like if they heard anything about this FOMO company, just like anything.
Okay.
Out of the ordinary.
So,
basically just like, nothing boring, just like if they heard anything that would seem suspicious about just this normal hunting company that is, like who the owner is, the finances are, etc.
Right.
And with a little bit of hint of, Ida thinks is worried that they might be werewolf hunters. So she's gonna, if she can spin that.
Oh, that they're actually werewolf hunters. I got.
Well, if she can spin that with her contact, she won't say that, but
urgency.
Yeah, she's a bit worried. She's not going to tell anyone else, but she's a bit worried that they might be involved somehow. Yeah.
All right. So give me investigation and intelligence roll.
Okay.
So, just so everybody's aware of what I'm doing, including the viewers, successes, of course, are good. The more successes you get, the better it is. But also, I'm not a huge fan of hiding information from people. So, rather than needing X amount of successes to get something, like with Theodore's role, he got all the information that he needed. It's just, it takes him a long time, right?
Yeah.
He's head down.
Yeah.
And he can't be involved in anything else. Now, with 3 successes, you're going to be a little bit quicker with what you discover. And you find a few things. First of all, pretty easily... Well, tell you what, I'm going to come back to you based on that roll. Give you some time to make the calls, and maybe you're doing some searches on your phone as well. Let's do... Dave next. No, let's do Oliver next, because Dave might turn into a fight.
Hey.
Can I make sure I've got like one eye on Shelly, because I'm worried.
Who says mine won't? Like, I've had a couple of bumps, so I might want a wee scrap too.
I'm keeping one eye on Shelly as I'm on the phone.
You can do that. You're not so consumed with your research that you're not aware of what's going on around you. That's fine.
Yeah.
So, Shelly.
Yeah.
You go talk to Greta. What are you gonna ask Greta? Hey girl, what's going on?
Hey girl, what's going on? I'm gonna talk to her
She
about...
says, hey girl, like she knows you, but also you're fairly certain she doesn't. There's no way she could remember who you are.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm gonna just start with some small talk. I'll have another drink. I'll get some small talk in. Just ask her how she's been, as if it's been busy. The bullshit, the weather, that kind of stuff. Ease myself in, and then I'll say I was cousin of mine's job hunting, and he's applied for that place, the new hunting place, that FOMO place, but I don't know anything about them or who owns the place or what they're like to work for. Do you know anyone? Do you know anything about the place? Just my nephew's a bit nervous. I just wanted to can reassure him.
So yours kind of went to the same place that Ida's does, so I'm going to reveal all that information at the same time. But I do want you to go ahead and give me a roll to see how much she tells you. We'll call that... I mean, you're being pleasant, so we'll call it etiquette.
Yep.
And charisma.
And then I grab her by the ear and start pulling on it. Can I roll intimidation? I'm joking. I'm joking. Etiquette and charisma. Ugh. Oh, I'm good with it. My charisma's not too bad, actually.
Yeah, you're a galliard.
Does she get advantage?
You're a wolf bard.
Does she get advantage because she's on coke? So she's more chatty.
No. Oh, that does remind me though. Before
Hey,
you
girl,
roll,
I love your braids.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
I love that shiny object that you have on your head.
So sadly, not only do you not get an advantage because you're on coke,
sorry.
Take a penalty. I gotta figure out how to do this. So okay, you're rolling charisma. How do we roll with?
But Shelley must have good
penalty.
constitution, right? She's probably hardened to drugs and toxins and shit.
You could just ignore the
I
last
can't
dice
figure
on
out
the
how
roll.
to add penalties to rolls.
Ignore the last dice.
It would be the last two, but that's not terribly fair of me. So I'm gonna let you just go ahead and make your charisma and etiquette roll.
It was bullshit anyway. It was crap coke. Barely touched the sides.
Oh, I gave Shelley talcum powder because I know Shelley can't take it.
I
So
barely
she doesn't
touched the
actually have any
sides.
coke. That's fine. Yeah.
That's funny.
You can add custom modifiers, Brian. I don't know if that'll give you. You can change it to like -1, -2
Where do you see that?
on the roll box. So if you click on etiquette and charisma, open charisma, and then confirm. On the side, it says add custom modifier.
Oh, that's where you do it on the confirm. Of course, it's not on the first box. Okay, so now we know how to do that. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so
If that
I
is
knew
what
it was
is,
there.
don't worry.
It is. I
Yeah.
was just losing my mind. Like, where's this coming from? Okay, so 3 successes, pretty good as well. So yeah, you and Ida are gonna find out mostly the same information, kind of about at the same time. So let's go to Dave. You said you were gonna go over to the pool table and chat up people playing pool.
Yeah, so
Brian.
they're actively in a
Brian.
game.
Just before you do,
Huh?
could you close the web page just so that we can have the scene back?
I can.
Thank you.
So in the UK, it might be like this. In the States, I don't know, or in Canada, if this is the case. When people are playing pool, you put a coin on the table to say, "I want to play next." So I'll do that, and I'll say, "Oh, I hope you guys don't mind if I put my name down for a game and just break the ice a little bit."
Yeah, I mean, they're a couple of middle-aged guys. They're not really teens. This is, we'll say it's a weeknight. So, and also Greta's pretty hardcore. So she's been threatened a few times with being closed down. So she's not letting young folks in as much as she can handle it. You all might have gotten in when you were younger, but times have changed. And so yeah, they're drinking. There's a few beer bottles here and there, some empties, some half done, and they seem relatively pleasant. Nobody seems terribly negative, and they're like, yeah, first come, first serve. So they finish their game. You play the winner. Tell me what's going on. What are you doing?
So yeah, I'll tell him I'm from this town a few years ago, and I've noticed there's a hunting place that's quite new. I'm just wondering if anyone's used it, or if you know anyone there, because I'm a keen hunter myself.
So this guy's like, yeah, fuck those guys.
Oh, okay. Why's that?
I mean, they're uppity. They wouldn't hire me. Just trying to get some decent work. Security job. Turned me down. Don't know why.
Were they hiring at the time though? They might not have had any openings. You never know.
I mean, they had an ad in the paper. Why would they put an ad in the paper if they didn't have openings?
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. So they were hiring. Yeah, it seems a bit strange. Did they tell you why, or did they just say you weren't what they were looking for?
Said I wasn't suitable, whatever that means.
Interesting. Do you know anyone else that works there?
I had one friend, Bobby. Bobby this is a couple of months ago. He got the job. I haven't seen him around much though.
Okay. Try calling him.
Well, I mean, he's not that kind of friend. Drinking.
Oh, okay. So it's just like an acquaintance sort of thing.
Yeah.
I've got you.
But he ain't been in,
enough.
and usually he's in here every night, even when he started.
How long ago was that?
Oh, I guess it's been a couple of weeks now since I've seen him.
Okay, it's a bit weird, but
Give me an athletics and dexterity test.
ooh.
Oh. Bar fight.
You got this one.
Somebody just slapped him from
Believe in
behind.
the dice.
Somebody's trying to sucker punch you.
Athletics and
Agility.
and which one?
Dexterity.
Dexterity.
Or agility.
Dexterity.
Is it agility? I thought it was dexterity.
It's dexterity. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
dex.
dexterity.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Oh no.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Dave, it's gonna happen
I
again.
remember
You're
this.
gonna get bombed
Do you
again.
want to
by-
re-roll, or are you going to take that?
I'm going to re-roll it with a willpower.
So here's the thing.
You're getting
Okay, yeah.
bummed again.
Well, re-rolling is always a possibility. I'm not going to take it from you. You definitely want to re-roll the brutals.
Yeah.
Oh, you saved yourself.
Wait, did you not re-roll the brutals? Oh no, he didn't, because he didn't re-roll the
didn't.
brutals.
You rolled the wrong
It
dice.
didn't
you
let me.
Dipshit.
You had to select the dice to re-roll.
Yeah, so when I selected the dice, it only brought up 3, and it was 1 red and 3 blank ones. So it's 4 in total. Sorry.
It's just automatic. Oh, that's right. You can't re-roll brutals. My mistake.
Oh.
So tell you what, take your. No, I'm not going to be an asshole to you. Take your point of willpower
That's
back.
all right.
Remove that. No, because it's still a
Do
brutal
it.
failure.
Do it. Be an
You
asshole.
cannot re-roll a
Do
brutal
it.
Do it.
failure.
Do it. Do it.
No, I'm not going to make him
Well,
waste.
Don't let-
it's fine
don't-
because I
don't let
recovered.
Dave
I
dick around.
recovered.
Don't let
I
Dick
recovered.
We're just winding
I
you up, Dave.
recovered my willpower earlier from my Howl
Yeah,
at the
but
Moon.
there's I should have realized that you would not, like, there's no way you. Well, could you have succeeded? I guess if all
Could've
of them were successes, it could have over.
critical,
Well, no,
maybe?
brutal fail is a brutal fail regardless.
Oh, okay, so it's
Um,
not worth re-rolling.
So yeah,
brutal
take
fails then.
your yeah.
So if you got
if
ten-
you have 2
if you got
brutals,
10 successes
You don't
and 2
reroll.
brutals, it's still a fail.
It's he fumbled basically.
I'm
fairly
Yeah.
certain. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
fumble.
Okay.
It's a fumble.
I mean, I do have a storyteller screen, so I can check real quick. Brutal's got to be on here, right?
Oh yeah,
So-
I think so.
Just for clarification, then, when Marcus rolled earlier on a possible brutal outcome, was that
He was
good
fighting
for
you.
him?
That's good
And
for
that's
him
good.
because he was fighting.
Fighting. It's
Yeah,
good when you're
brutal is
So
fighting.
when it's in a
Yeah,
fight,
yeah.
it's good,
Yeah.
and in a social interaction, it's not a good thing.
It's not good.
It's very bad.
in a
It's very
passive,
bad.
passive
Yeah.
thing.
So 2 or more
he's
brutal
trying to-
results become a brutal outcome, usually causing the test to fail unless the goal was to cause harm or damage. So yeah, no, it's an automatic
okay.
fail.
Hmm.
So
Got you.
what I want
It's
you to
more
describe for
interesting.
me, I basically made you make the roll to see how well you're shooting pool against this guy, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
But as you're talking, you're having an awful game.
Hmm.
It's bad. And you are getting
Does he knock my drink
angry.
over as well? Does he knock my drink over as well?
He doesn't on purpose,
Oh,
but maybe you do.
Okay.
As you are, you flub one of the shots, and maybe you think that he knocked it over, but you're gonna gain a point of rage, and now
suck.
you have to describe for me how, as you fail at shooting pool and have this really awful game, as you're having this conversation, how do you break or destroy something as a part of the process?
So, shockingly bad couple of frames of pool. Each one worse, like nearly, pretty much on the last one, I get 8-balled or 9-balled, whichever version we're playing.
Sure.
Really bold.
I knock my drink over, but I turn to one of the guys and sort of like blame him for doing it, and I just smash the pool cue on the table, and it fucking just obliterates into like splinters,
Out of the queue.
Okay.
as well as knocks
so,
the balls all over the place. As
and
well.
it does, like it doesn't just break, like the pool cue shatters, because when you do this, your feral strength comes out in the moment, and not only does the pool cue shatter, but you can see that the table itself is not cloven in two, but like it's dented. Like you have done damage to the table. Some of the shards of the pool cue have like dug into the felt and torn up some of the felt. Like you've done some damage here. And you hear from the bar, "Hey!" And you turn around and Greta, and this happens right in front of Shelly as you're having a conversation with Shelly. Greta pulls up a shotgun.
Oh, shit.
And says, "Boy, you better get yourself under control."
Am I under control?
You better.
You're not in frenzy. You have control of your actions.
Oh, okay.
You failed spectacularly and break or destroy something, which you just did.
I'm like,
So
wow.
we know
Beretta a bit, don't we?
I'll say, wow.
Sorry.
Greta, who's that guy?
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure somebody would be like, shoot him. The man.
I've seen him before. He's a baddie. I've seen him stealing out the charity box.
I lost my rag a minute. The shotgun's not going to do football, is it? So,
at that moment, the door to the saloon opens, and come walking in is somebody that is very familiar. There weren't a lot of role models to look up to when you were growing up in this town, but sometimes a grown-up can make a big impression just by being a patient, present, reliable person, willing to listen to you, even to hear out your worries. Coach Mackenzie was such a person in your lives, and still seems to have those qualities.
I love Coach Mackenzie.
The memories are awakened as he walks in, slightly older, a little more of a belly and a little less hair, but in every way, the warm-hearted coach you remember from gym class or hockey practice. And he looks around and he sees you by the bar, Jared, and he sees the rest of you, and he instantly recognizes you. And says, "Oh, you've all grown since last I saw you."
And
Greta lowers the shotgun.
I'm gonna pat him on the belly and say, and you've grown as well.
Getting into trouble though.
Gonna give him a hug, and this is the only man I've ever hugged in my whole life.
I'll give him a goth. I'm gonna give him a goth chick high five. You know, where it's like cool, but you like hold the hand, like that type of thing. Because she's cool.
Yeah, I mean, he tries to give you the high five, and then you grab his hand.
Yeah, it's like awkward. It's like awkward, but she's trying to.
But he goes with it, right? And he takes, as he does that with his left hand, he takes Shelly in with his right arm and pulls you into a hug.
And it's not sexual at all. It's not sexual.
It's not sexual at all. This is a wholesome man. This is a wholesome man. I love this man.
And he sees where Theodore is sitting. Probably doesn't see him because Theodore is just engaged.
I'm fully focused.
This is, you guys having a drink? You eating? What's going on?
Yep, all of that.
I was playing pools.
Yeah, we're here for a reunion, which is amazing because you're here as well. So we're like, really, that's crazy that you're here as well.
What's the nearest city to where we are, Brian?
The big city is the nearest city to where you are.
Right, because that's where I'm playing hockey at. I'm staying here, but I'm playing hockey in the city still. I just wanted to make sure.
Right.
We don't know the name of it.
Yeah, you're playing like AAA, like minor league hockey. And yeah, he's like, "Oh, I know, I'm watching." Boy, that dog attack was weird, wasn't it?
Weird, yeah, weird.
Weren't you at that practice?
I was, yeah. Weird doesn't quite cover it.
Did it get you?
No, it didn't get me, Coach. Got some people I know though. Got them real bad. A few people were really hurt by it.
Well, from what I remember, nobody died though, so that's good.
No one died. No, but yeah. I've not been right since, Coach. I've not been able to play in the big league since.
Hey. Let me go get a drink and y'all have a seat. I'll join you.
I'm gonna, because this is calm zone. I'm gonna grab Jared and be like, "Hey, Jared, coach is there." To try and get him away from.
I was going to order him a drink, but if you see him coming over,
and I'll go with Jonas.
So Shelley moved away from the bar to come hug him. He then, he sees where Theodore was sitting. He assumes that you guys are probably sitting in the same place because he remembers you all as being at least somewhat friendly. He goes to the bar. He has a few words with Greta, and her mood lightens a little bit. And anybody who's watching notices that he passes across significantly more than is necessary for a drink. It looks like it might be a couple of $100.
I feel so bad. I feel bad.
And she nods at him while still glaring in Jared's direction. And he comes around to that side of the table or to the pool tables. He says, "Don't worry about that, son. I took care of it. It's,
I didn't mean to.
I was sorry.
I was
sorry to hear about your family.
Missed.
Awful what happened to them.
Yeah.
Can't. Well, living that far out in the woods as you guys did. I mean, it's hard to believe that a bear attack can happen, but they do happen. There's a reason why most of us have shotguns by our front door, It's
a good idea. But that night was just, I don't know. I still see it.
Glad you weren't there. You might have died too.
Well, I still see almost like what happened, if that makes sense, because of what I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, that's fair, son. Come on, let's have a drink. He leads you over to the table. And you guys have a nice couple of drinks, and maybe a short meal eventually comes over from Greta, and you have a meal with him. Theodore, you're still doing your work. The rest of you, while you're not directly engaging with Coach, you do find a few things. Ida, you get a couple of calls and a couple of emails. Obviously, Shelley learned some stuff from Greta before the shotgun came up. And basically, what you have both found.
I learned that Greta's a bad bitch, and I'm here for it.
I think you should date Greta. I think she's cool. I think you guys should just.
I've liked her since the moment I walked in. Mate, age is not a thing. Like with age comes experience.
I mean, especially if she's like an ancient Native American. I just you should go for it. I mean, you're not going to get any better because your career's washed up. So go for it.
Oh, cheers!
So you guys actually managed to find a few things. Between the two of you, Dave got some info on their hiring practices and something about somebody not being suitable, whatever that means. Strange terminology. You do discover that the FOMO Hunting Company offers helicopter hunting trips all around Canada and Alaska.
That sounds illegal.
You find one of their recent flyers, which you all should be able to see now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I will say, Ida, you get sent a video.
You want
and
me
you gotta wait a while for it to load.
Do you want me to read this for the viewers, or?
You can, yeah. Go ahead.
Rx, do you want me to read it out, or does it not matter? I don't know if you...
Go for it, mate. Go for it.
I won't read the other one out because it was too much, but this one's reasonable.
Yeah.
So it says, FOMO Hunting Company, Wildlife Adventure, and Guided Wolf Hunts. $950 per hunter. Prices include transportation.
$9,500.
Oh, sorry.
That's very expensive.
That's cheap. So prices include transportation, guided services, rifle training, camp experience with lodgings and meals, license and tax, trophy care, brackets skinned and salted, photography, dinner and drinks. Our areas in Alberta NW territories, Ontario and Alaska, in beautiful game-rich environments. These wilds provide the largest wolves North America has to offer. These are not baited hunts, where you sit in a box blind all day and hope to catch something. These are organized hunts where we guarantee you will see whole packs of wolves. Fire and ammo available at extra price. Each hunter is allowed to harvest one wolf, must be 18 or older. 555 FOMO.
These fuckers.
So, I will also say that in the interim, you receive a video file that you're able to pull up on your phone once it's finally loaded. Not quite as quickly as some of our phones today.
7 minutes later.
But it has a video of the company's CEO, and the file attachment is labeled "Address by Olivia Moreau."
Olivia
Moreau, Moreau. She's a beautiful, imposing woman who likes to pose in expensive hunting gear. Something about her just rubs you the wrong way.
CEO. Okay.
So that's all you get from your investigation into FOMO. And while you're all just kind of talking and you get some of your information finally from emails and various things, you kind of perk back up as Coach's voice kind of breaks through the haze of the investigation. And he says, well, maybe he's speaking to Jared at this point. I guess you know the school budget was cut a few years ago. Cuts hit me pretty hard. Physical education is out. I've been looking for a new job. He takes a sip from his beer. He says, I hit a rough patch. I don't mind telling you. But I'm much better now. I got work organizing hunting trips for rich tourists. It's not what I wanted. It's not what I'm trained to do, but it pays the bills pretty good, actually. So I'm in a good place now.
Oh, no.
And that, I think, is where we will end for today.
Yeah,
No, coach! Not the coach!
I don't want to kill my father.
No! What have you done? And you made the CEO a woman, you son of a bitch!
Coach got turned.
Oh, the
He's
coach.
innocent. He's innocent. He's a victim.
What a twist. Oh, what a twist.
We're gonna end the scene, but some of you have some abilities that you might want to use if you have a concern about your touchstone.
He is our touchstone.
He is, but he's also a living character who has his own story.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of... Who am I thinking of? Is it Shelly?
Yeah, mine's all combat based.
Yeah, yours all.
Blow him out the door with wind.
What am I looking for?
No, it's not Shelly. Hang on. It might be Jonas.
Damn it, I don't think I have anything that can help me in this situation.
Oh, is it Ida?
Is it me? I mean, I've got that ritual thing, but that's about records. I don't know if that would help him.
Oh, no, none of you have it. Okay.
So, none of us can help him.
None of us have the
We'll
useful
extend the
skill
scene
he
a
was
little
thinking
bit.
of.
Oh, okay.
Well, one of the other characters does. So, as you guys are sitting there with Coach, and just as Coach says this, which, obviously is a big reveal, but not, I don't know how you all react. But Ashley shows up, finally.
Yay.
Yay.
Ashley, I'll show you a picture, since you guys don't have access to her. There's Ashley. You know for a fact she doesn't need glasses. She has perfect vision, but she likes to affect glasses for some reason. She wears her hair short. She says she's told Ida in the past, yeah, long hair just... I don't know how you humans do it. Long hair just feels weird. I like it to be closer to my head. It just feels more natural. So anyway, she comes in and she sees all of you and comes over and joins you. Coach looks up and he's like, "Oh, that's odd. A young one in this town I don't recall. Do y'all know her?"
Yeah, we do.
Like, yeah, it's Ashley.
It's Ashley.
Ew.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, she's Wolfborn. She didn't go to high school. Like, she's...
No,
Yeah.
but she's been in the town. But she's been in town for a few years.
Ashley was homeschooled.
Yeah, but not one of his students ever.
Ashley was
homeschooled.
homeschooled, coach. That's why I don't know her. She was homeschooled.
Well, but like,
well. And he stands up and he's like, "Well, it's nice to meet you, dear." And he offers to give her a hug. He doesn't move in to just bear hug her. He just holds his arms out to see if she wants to. And then, she's like, "Oh." She steps in and gives him a hug.
I'll explain to Ashley who the coach is.
Oh,
can I smell the coach? Like, does he smell the same?
So you're not. You could do that if you were in lupus form, but that's not something you can do in human form.
It's not like a human thing.
So it's actually good that you had Ashley arrive, or is it? Seriously, she doesn't have it either. I'm gonna say she does, just to make it easier, because you already set it up.
Before you do that,
Sorry,
Brian, can I?
Yeah.
How long's the coach? How long has he worked there? Did he say?
Oh, okay.
Recent.
He says, "Yeah, I've been working there for a couple of months now."
Can I ask him about Bobby? Do you know? Have you heard about a guy called Bobby that's gone missing?
Oh,
yeah.
Got hired from town. Yeah, Bobby ain't missing. He's traveling with the CEO, Miss Moreau. He's part of a security detail.
One of his friends playing pool was asking because he's not seen him for a couple of weeks. So.
Oh well, I mean that makes sense.
He'll be happy
they're
to know.
traveling a lot. Yeah. There's a lot of hunts going on. I mean, there's one in a couple of days. Okay, so you all know from previous experience, because again, you've been part of the pack, you know that Ashley has a gift that allows her to detect whether or not someone is not natural.
Okay.
Supernatural,
yeah.
Like under a control somehow. Maybe.
Like tainted,
potentially.
Tainted somehow.
It would detect if someone is possessed by a bane or a spirit, or if they're just otherwise supernatural. But she has to activate it. It's not like a constant thing. So like if you want her to check, somebody's gonna have to tell her.
Okay.
I mean, I think I'd tell her because I'd be like, well, I'd just say I'd be more just like, Ashley, we had this incident with Marcus. We're just a little bit concerned. Can you maybe just we're a bit worried about the area. Can you maybe use your little gift just to make sure? And plus, I guess because Dave's characters have the little rook, I'm like, we're new to town. We're a little bit worried in case anyone's, not normal.
Yeah, she says I can do that. Give me a second. I'll have a seat, keep talking to him, and I'll just go get a drink and observe him from the bar. And so she does so, and she will roll. How many dice? Yeah. Okay. She keeps her rage pretty low. Oh, I should have put her name in there, but that's fine. You guys know what I'm doing. Okay. So, yeah, she comes back and she says, he's clear.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'll tell her all the stuff about the company as well. Just like, oh, hey, Ash, like, I don't know if you know anything about this. We're worried about the company. Like, they might have some connections to not liking wolves. I'll tell her that and see if she responds.
Are you saying this in front of
No.
Okay.
No. I'm gonna do the whole girl thing, like yay, and like move her away and pop. And I will grab Shelly and be like, Shelly, like look, girl, you know, blah 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 blah. And I'll make Shelly scream a bit because of the whole coat thing, but I'll then whisper this more to Ashley, like, oh, we're like, we're here for there's stuff going on.
So she's like, yeah, I mean, I'm keeping out of pack politics as much as I can in the area. I know the Luna bombers are targeting them. They've been defacing their signs, and I'm fairly certain Marcus is planning on attacking them when the next hunt is supposed to happen.
Can I ask her about Jada? Be like, Jada seemed very controlling of Marcus. It seemed a bit. Is that like I've been away for a bit? I don't know if that's normal, but she was. Is she in charge now? Is she in charge?
No,
or something
she's not in charge, but she's doing everything she can to keep him. He's almost lost, but she's doing what she can to keep him from, well, hurting the rest of us. And by the rest of us, you know that she means like Guru in the area. And I don't think Jada is all in on a full culling like Marcus wants to do. I think she's just trying to keep him focused on the enemy. But anyway, I'm out of that. Like Marcus came to me the other day and asked me if I wanted to join them. He knows that my house is outside of his territory, so he's got no control over me.
So Ashley's like not in a group. She's like just like a lone wolf. Like that's her little area. Like, and she's out of it, and she
not going through the path of the politics.
A lot of the wolves in the area respect her little plot of land as her territory.
Can I ask her? Like, I'm like, we're kind of new in town, and I don't know if there's like an inn or a tavern. Could we maybe crash at yours?
Oh yeah. Sweetie, you can absolutely come over. We've got that big old bunker in the back. I can set up some beds for all of you. That's no trouble at all. I mean, just, don't do any of your weird stuff in front of my kids, but...
Of course. I mean, I think, can I roll something for this? Because can I roll an insight check to see if Coach seems unusual? Because, I mean, it's all cool that he came in, but I'm like, can I just, like, sense the...
Absolutely, yeah. So while you're making that roll, is anybody else, we're getting close to the end here, is anybody else saying anything else to Coach, or what are you doing?
Nothing. I'm shocked.
I mean, you guys are still chit-chatting, I'm sure.
I am shooketh.
You're shocked.
I'm shooketh.
Would he be working the next day? You said it was a weekday, didn't you? So would Coach be working the next day?
The next hunt's in a couple of days.
Apparently. I mean, are you asking him?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
He did say the next hunt is in a couple of days. He's like, no, I mean, I'm not working tomorrow, but, day after tomorrow, wheels up.
I was just wondering if I could get a bit of a tour of the hunting, because I'm a keen hunter, so I just wanted to see what the facility was like, what weapons they use, that sort of thing, do a little tour of the place.
Oh, son, I don't have that.
But if you can't, no, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean... it'd be great if you could see this place. I mean, it's a big ass lodge they got up right at the foot of the mountain. It's beautiful. It's majestic views. I sometimes they even let me stay the night up there if I'm doing a hunt with people in the morning. Beds are plush. Liquor is good, although not that I partake too much. I gotta lead the people on the hunts in the morning. He's like, and everything is great. They're charging these big city folks lots of money to go on these hunts, and I definitely see my part of it. He seems pleased. From the past that Coach is a hunter.
As he says that, I'm like talking to him, but hunting from a aircraft sometimes too. Yes.
Oh well, yeah, we use helicopters.
Like I been studying law, and some of my family members from the reserve has been complaining about the noises from the aircraft, and I found out that what they've been doing is illegal. They're breaking the law.
Oh, well, I mean, that can't be right. Now, how are they doing it?
I can show you right here. I show you like the website of the law of the hunting law. You can't shoot or hunt from an aircraft vehicle.
Law in the law.
Okay, so what is your goal here by showing him this?
To try to essentially persuade him to rethink about working for them, because I'm like trying to passively say maybe you should not work for them. I care about you. Actually, I will say that now that like I say to the coach, I think it's not a good idea, coach. I'm worried you get in trouble if you are working for them and they are caught breaking the law, and they're literally promoting it. The wildlife protection and the services will get a win of this.
Okay, so I want you to make a persuasion and manipulation test.
Persuasion and manipulation test.
You get to add a base die, right? So when you're on the second screen, just hit plus above the green dice.
Yep. Above the green dice, werewolf dice.
Because you've shown him that is illegal.
Yep. Okay, roll. Yes.
There you go.
So he listens to you, and he seems like he is taking you seriously. And he looks at the website that you show him, and he's getting in deep, but he says, and this is where we're going to end it for today, for real. He says, "Oh, well, Jonas, I mean, I appreciate it, and I'm happy to hear that you're all about conservation. I mean, you know, I've got nothing but respect for nature, but son, the money's too good, and they wouldn't still be in business if it were illegal. I mean, I see what you're showing me here, but there's got to be more to it. Like, it can't be that simple. I'm sorry, I can't abandon my work just on this little bit that you've given me. You don't understand how hard it was when I lost my job at the high school, and now I got that decent money. I can look after some folks in town that need it. I can send money to my kids. I mean, yeah, they're grown and they're doing okay, but it's not enough, son, for me to just give up my job. I mean, I've had my doubts about the company, but and yeah, it's not sportsmanlike to shoot those poor animals from the helicopter, but it's hard for me to just walk away. You understand?
Well, I do, coach, but like I said, I just care about you. I don't want to go end up in jail, get some criminal records, and you've been watching us since we were kids, coach, and we care about you. Sometimes you need to let us take care of you because we care about you. We want to return the favor.
This was going to be a hard ask, regardless.
Yeah.
And one is just not enough. Maybe if you had rolled 3 successes, you might have turned him around.
Yeah.
But he says, well, I mean, I'll think about it, but you know, the job, and we've got to hunt in a day and a half. That's too soon. I can't just ditch now.
Well, I mean, Jay, what's your name again? Jared. Jared can take over.
Jared.
Yeah.
Like, he has experience. Maybe we can recommend Jared to him, because won't you take the fall? You will help him, won't you, Jared?
I'll do everything I can to help coach.
Like I told Jared, it's not as easy as all that. Like, I'm one of their guides. To even get through the hiring process takes a week and a half, and then there's training. I'm sorry, son. I can't give it up. Not now.
All right. Well, think about it, at least, Coach. Think
I
about
will.
it.
I will. But, and I'll do some more research on my own. But I can't believe that. I mean, I see the law. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, but I can't believe they're able to. I can't believe they're doing anything illegal. They would have been shut down by now, for sure.
Well, they're hiding it well, Coach. That's. Maybe they've bribed some officials. Who knows this part of the world? But
yeah, maybe. But also maybe they have special dispensation. Who am I to say?
Well, it's not right, and it's not good, and
Well,
you're better off not working
you used
there.
To be a hunter.
I still am, but I'm not. I hunt when for food. I eat the things that I kill. I don't hunt for sport. I don't believe in that. So, one way or another, this company will.
He seems very torn, but he makes it clear that he's gonna go on the hunt in a day and a half. And you know that if he goes on the hunt in a day and a half, he's probably gonna die.
Oh yeah,
because the Lunabombers are gonna attack.
Yeah.
Write that on my notes.
So we'll leave you with that thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tomorrow you'll have a whole day to see if you can figure out something else.
Yeah.
Or if you just say, screw it, let him die. He's made his bed, he can lay in it.
Oh, no.
I mean, me and Shelley need to spend at least half a day trying to find more coke in this small town. So,
Yeah. That's going to take a while.
Because you said we only just arrived, so we're going to be like hanging out in the right place.
You know,
didn't you show up with like 10 or 15 keys in the trunk of your car?
I mean, there's a lot in my old Envira wagon of coke. You keep me going, yeah, that'd be fine.
Oh, God. Oh, I know a weed dealer. I don't know.
Yeah, you know a weed dealer. He might not have coke.
I know
Weed's
a drug
easier
dealer.
to get out in the boonies.
It does say on my sheet that I do have a drug dealer that I can ask for help. So yeah, I'll be fine.
You do. So yeah, we'll call it there for today. I'm not going to do experience games because this is just a one-shot, right? But normally you would apply a certain amount of experience at the end of the session. Like a lot of games, it's single points here and there, and then maybe if we do a long campaign at some point, we'll get into that. But for today, we'll just call it the end, and we will see you in 2 weeks for part 2,
right.
and we'll see if we make it to the end or if we go to a part 3 after that.
You heard it here first, folks. Tune in 2 weeks for part 2. This was Red Tundra, Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition. I am RxOliver. These wonderful humans are my friends. Good night.